Players at the ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? On my release.
Tonight, I'll be eating roasted cauliflower tacos with spicy chipotle sauce. Thank you. Oh! Yeah! I wasn't ready!
You want cheese to go with that wine?
Good evening tonight, and welcome back to another American Air Hockey League tournament match. Tonight's game is against 14-year-old David Genevicz versus Zander Bentley, an 11-year-old player, and the winner of tonight's match will go against Anthony at the end of this night's match.
That's right. This is going to be an epic game. It's a double-ended game, and Anthony's going to be. He's rated as a third seed right now.
Right,
and so he's going to be trying to defend the third seed versus whoever wins this game right here. And so we've got an 11-year-old versus a 14-year-old. It almost seems like we're running a youth tournament right now, when in reality, these two are just kicking everyone else's butts in their way.
Indeed.
Yeah. So my name is Nathan.
My name is Tyler.
And we're going to be your commentators for today. We also got Caleb Buss on the line. He's visiting us remotely. Caleb, go ahead and say hi.
Howdy, folks. Are you ready for this match? I'm so excited right now.
He said something there.
We apologize for the technical difficulty.
All right. So without further ado, we're gonna pan the camera over. You guys can watch the game. Make sure right now to take part in the poll of David versus Zander, and then after that, we're gonna have one more poll listed, which is going to be whoever wins this game versus Anthony. And then besides that, throw some comments in there. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And without further ado, let's get right into the action.
We'll see you on the table.
We'll see you there. I kind of pushed it.
All right, here we go. I guess they're flipping the puck to see who gets the first puck. It's the first time I've seen that. All right, Zander starts it off. Nice block by David. David goes for the right wall. 2 right walls in a row. Zander, fantastic defense there. The right wall for Zander. Another right wall for Zander. It looks like they're both just sticking to the walls right now.
He's holding up pretty dang good, too. You know, right now, David is, in my opinion, roughly third best in Idaho, in my opinion. And Zander is, right at this point in this tournament, he is the lowest ranked player in the tournament. So he's definitely the underdog in this tournament, for sure.
Yeah, I believe Zander's actually holding up pretty well against the number 6 seed.
Yeah, it seems like it's wow, what did it go?
What
Look at that
a
shot
by Zander Bentley.
David sets it up, goes for a forehand. That's one thing that he's really good at, is that from the wrist flick forehand shot. Oh, beautiful cut.
Ooh, yep, beautiful cut. I've also seen some amazing defense standards and tactics from Mr. Zander Bentley. I hope he can keep up if he wants to secure his position in this first game.
So how long has Zander and David been playing?
So David's been playing roughly 1 year now. He joined up, I believe, right after the last tournament, so it's just a little under a year. And Zander, it's hard to say with Zander because, so Zander Bentley is Matt Bentley's son. They own a table at home, and so they get to practice on that table. Matt, gets to practice with his son quite often. Ooh, beautiful trick shot there. He did a 1-2 on him.
You know, I'm really impressed and surprised to see how high Zander's paddle is in his defense. Not a lot of players, like young players, would have their paddle that high up.
You've got a great point there.
Really good.
Yeah, his defense, you can see where his mallet is at. It's about mid-table. You'd expect him to have it a lot further back towards his goal.
Yeah, from an observer, if you weren't someone who's really been playing a lot of air hockey, you wouldn't notice that, but like you can tell he's not a rookie. He's not new.
No. And normally when you find a pro player and somebody that they're with that's like lesser ranked, in this case Matt Bentley and Zander Bentley, you have one that's way better with offense and one that's way better with defense. And so you can see that here. Xander's got some good defense. David is definitely the expected winner in today's match. Xander is the underdog, which means that all of us are rooting for him, obviously. Everybody wants Xander to win this game because it'd be such an amazing upset battle. The chances are pretty low. So what he's got, it's we were saying earlier, it's David versus Goliath, but in this case it's Xander versus David in this case, because he's got a big uphill battle.
Yes, in fact, actually, as of the poll going on in the top chat at the moment, Xander is taking up 57%. So let's hope he can hold up and hopefully...
You can see everyone's rooting for him. Yeah, 57% right
Absolutely.
now rooting for him. It's now 5-2. Xander was able to pull off.
I don't know if you've noticed, but Xander
Amazing
has
and
only been taking right walls. Xander's only shooting right walls right now.
You
I don't
are
know
as well.
if that's a tactic or...
Well,
that's
it
just
is the
what
play
he's
of the
comfortable
week,
with.
so hopefully he can stick with it or find a way around it and get that win.
And that could be his undoing. Oh no, it flubs in. It could be Xander's undoing. Let's see, it's right now game point to 3. You want to have a good variety of shots, and if you're only using one shot, chances of winning are very low.
Indeed they are. You gotta have a little bit of variety every now and then.
Xander sets it up.
Right. Oh,
David
there we
takes
go.
back
There's
There you
possession.
go,
shot
David
cross
with a
there.
comeback.
And there it is,
And
the end
there's
of the very first game. 7-3.
You know, that's a very respectable, 7-3, that's fine. I mean, for a first round, feeling each other out, and for Xander to keep it that close, well done.
Agreed. And you can see that at the top now. You can see that David has 1 win to 0. There is 2 sets to with the first winner of 2 sets is who takes this. So to explain it to our viewers that are first-time viewers, first off, welcome to the channel. And you can see at the top of the screen, David's won 1 game. If he wins 4 games, or if Xander wins 4 games, the first person to win 4 games wins 1 set. If the first person to win 2 sets takes this entire challenge match. A reminder, this is the Idaho State playoffs, and so the loser of this game gets kicked out of the playoffs. They're completely out of the tournament.
Entirely eliminated?
Yep.
Alrighty.
And the winner moves on. In fact, the winner moves on today. The winner of this game immediately goes up against Anthony Spanberger. Anthony's just crushing it recently. Yesterday, he actually played and beat David in a weekly tournament that we had. Just barely. It was 6-6, and David scored on himself. But Anthony still beat him, so the question now is, who is going to win today? If David wins this game, who's going to win between him and Anthony? He normally beats Anthony. But yesterday, Anthony made a comeback, and so it's interesting.
When I drove up there and played in Idaho, Anthony was an impressive player. He has really good puck control, and his shots are smooth.
And here's the first game of the second round.
Possession is always going to be to the right. So just like you saw, instead of them doing a face-off in the middle of the table, they did a puck flip because Zander cannot reach the center. And so the way it goes now is that the possession is always going to start on the right side of the table, and the players rotate after each game.
Okay.
So
is that a typical way that they do that too, or is that just something?
In fact,
new
that's the only way they do it. It's up until very recently that the North Carolina players decided they would do a face-off every single game, and a lot of people caught on to it. We really like it a lot. It's like a game inside of a game. There's a whole lot of tactic to a face-off. And so we do a face-off every single game, but generally there's only one face-off, and if the person cannot reach the center line, they just do one flip. In this case, we just did one flip, and the possession's always going to be to the right side of the table.
Seems like Zander is a little bit almost toying with the puck, but can he capitalize?
Let's see, is he going to dive on the table? Oh, what is he going to do? Oh, he can't reach it. He should dive up.
Unfortunately, he cannot reach.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
There
Dive
you
up
go.
there.
Wonderful performance by Zander
There
Bentley.
we go. He knows the rules. You're definitely allowed to jump on the table. There's no rule against it as long as you don't cross over that center line. Quick shout out to a lot of our fans popping in. Evely, thank you so much for popping in there. We got Matt Bentley, we got Brooke in here, we've got Fluffy Dragon Slayer, we got Brandon, we've got Derpy Piggy. That's one of my favorites. We've got thank you to everybody right now for taking a chance to comment. If you haven't yet, go ahead and throw some comments in there. Remember that these comments are read by the players in between games and in between sets. Ooh,
Wonderful score, David.
Mallet.
Almost.
That, I believe, was that a straight shot? I think that was a right wall again.
It was a right wall,
It was
and
a right
David
wall.
just did not hit the right angle, and it bounced into his own goal.
it almost seems like Zander is almost always going for a right wall bounce. Is this mistaken? Am I
wonder-
seeing this right?
You know,
Maybe his dad said it was for his training.
so one thing you got to recognize though is just because it's a right wall doesn't necessarily mean it's a right wall under versus right wall over. And so he's trying to mix that up. The thing is that David, all he has to do to block that is bring his defense up. And
Right
he's
you
already
are,
doing that.
Nathan.
Yeah. And so Zander is going to need a strategy of 2 shots that look similar. The right wall over and under. Oh no, and he just let it go. David gives it
It's
back to him to be
actually
good sport.
something that I personally love doing when I'm on air hockey tables. I like to stick to one move for a long period of time, and then when they're not ready for it, just do one other simple move. And
Absolutely.
90% of the time, it's really hard for them to predict it because they're so used to seeing that same shot over and over. So I would love to see Zander just shoot a couple straight shots every now and then. That would throw his game to the whole nother level.
Indeed. I mean, throwing a little bit of variety in there could mean the difference against Mr. David Genevicz.
I mean, David just throws that puck right off. I mean, he's done with it. He said, "You know what, ref? Take it."
David, so I've been playing with him a lot recently, and I really believe that he's going to be #1 in Idaho by this time next year. I like mark my words on that one.
I would not be surprised.
He's got a fantastic right wall under and cut strategy that he uses. In fact, you'll see it a lot in this game. So like watch right here, he's gonna set it up, and there's the cut, and then he will go almost immediately. Oh, that one flubbed in.
No.
For a right wall under. And so it's really hard to decide because he's hitting to 2 different sides of the goal. And his cut is very deceptive. It looks like it's going to be a right wall under. So David has a fantastic setup,
His
great puck
control
control.
is really it's
So-
really nice puck control. If he can get his shots down and add just a little bit more energy to the table, then yeah, he would have a really good shot.
Well, I mean, this is what's going to make today so interesting is that he's got to actually save his energy.
What a
Because
shot.
if he wins this, he's immediately going up against Anthony. So David actually has to save his energy if he expects to beat Anthony afterwards. David has to save his energy.
Right.
I want you, as the viewer, everybody listening to this right now, try to guess David's shot when he goes to hit it. If it's going to go towards that goal that's closest to the wall there, or if it's going to go straight across the table. Try to guess it before he hits it. And that's what makes his play so deceptive, is it's hard to say whether it's going to go straight or hit that right wall.
All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Bentley almost testing out the waters, and there he goes for a right shot.
I like that David gives him the puck back. You know, he's using good sportsmanship. here.
Absolutely. Some very, indeed, good sportsmanship from David.
Final shot replay,
You know-
powered by Ruthless Real Estate.
Almost too quick for the replay. Incredible performance by David Genevicz.
We got a lot of people in the chat going for Zander right now. In fact, the entire chat is just blown up. It's hard to read a chat in here that doesn't have Zander's name in it.
Indeed, yeah. The live chat's going crazy over Zander, hoping for a comeback.
Well, he's back onto the what I would call the more comfortable side of the table. So we should see a little bit of an improvement here.
And
right
there's
off
the first
rip.
shot. A little bit of speed play from Genevicz.
Nice block by Zander. Another nice tap there. Zander has some pretty decent reflexes. You know, also the fact that Zander is playing, you know, without able to reach the center line perfectly, you know, it just goes to show his skill level. To
Absolutely.
Be able to still play,
I think he's putting up a good
you know,
game
and
for
be
his
ranked number
posture.
11.
That was a beautiful shot on the line by David. I believe
Indeed.
it went over though. Yeah, well, no, it didn't. He did good. I
Wonderful.
believe. Yeah. The ref had to check it out. Looked good.
Alrighty.
You know, something I noticed that a lot of players don't do that
there
I
goes the
really like
puck.
to do. I really like to take a lot of timeouts, and you're only allowed 1 timeout per game, but I try to capitalize and use every timeout every game. I don't know about you, but that's something that I like to take advantage of.
Yeah, sometimes you need to just take a break and rethink your strategy. I think that's a great opinion. I agree.
See, for me, I can't play that way. If I take a break, I actually that was a beautiful forehand. Check out this forehand from David.
That's an incredible forehand.
And immediately turned by
Right
Zander.
back.
Right back at you by Zander Bentley.
So I cool down too fast. I want to keep playing as much as I possibly can. If I even take even a 10-second break, it usually affects my game negatively. But if I'm too heated, then it's a perfect time for it. So I only call a timeout when it's like absolutely needed for myself.
You've got a fair point there, Nathan. Bit
Yeah,
of
I find
speed
it's.
play.
I like to watch and kind of feel out my opponent, and then I'll change how I play based on my opponent. You know, if my opponent likes to play at a high tempo, I like to bring the tempo down. If my opponent likes to play at a low tempo, I try to bring it up.
Yeah, you've got a great point there as well. You try to maybe throw off their game using their own skill, if not strategy, that they themselves have probably prepared for. If you're trying to play a little bit defensive, they're going to the offensive. Just try to level things out, hopefully in your favor.
Right, and you know, and that's something that not a lot of people
no.
talk about this game. Is there actually is a lot of mental, you know,
Like a mental
options.
battle.
It isn't just, you know, a puck with your paddle. You're versing another person, and there's a lot of tactician stuff to go on in the game that you ain't seeing. unless you're there
Absolutely.
and feeling it on the table.
Oh,
What
David
a
tries to
play.
go for a forehand. He's working. I mean, to be honest, if he's going to win this game, it's not a bad idea for him to not only conserve his strength, but also to start practicing some shots and to try to dial them in. You know, last game was 7-3, and right now it looks like he could possibly close this game out again with another 7-3 battle. There it is, 7-3.
And that is the match.
The amount of control David has is astounding. He also has a table at home, and so he's been getting a ton of practice in. I like that chase shot.
That rebound,
Incredible
into
rebound.
a counter shot.
Yeah, they call it a transition generally, or a chase, and so he chased it forward. That was a beautiful shot.
Another victory down for Mr. Genevicz.
That means both games 7-3, 7-3. I know this sounds maybe patronizing, but the fact that Zander is able to get, the fact that he's able to get 3 points on David is incredible. It really is. David right now, in my opinion, I really think he's almost tied for second place. Between him and Spec, it's very, very close. David has beaten me in quite a few games recently, so I believe that the three of us are just really tied up. And so for Zander to get 3 points on him is amazing, frankly.
You know, and it's right, and it's hard to explain that, but it'd be like playing football against, you know, Aaron Rodgers or you know, one of the greats out there, and you expect to do something, and even just getting a couple yards, you'd feel proud of yourself because, you know, it's who you're against that makes you go, okay, I still accomplished this much. So yes, going to 7-3 in this matchup, that is really impressive.
Right. We're going to game 4 right now, so this is a set game right here. If David wins this game, right off the bat,
Immediately off the bat.
If David wins this game here, then one set is already done. If Xander's able to pull off the next 4 games in a row, he can actually take the set. I would love to see a victory from Zander right now.
I'm afraid I believe that Genevicz actually has a good strategy going on against Zander, and quite possibly kind of recognize his right-hand shots. See?
He has.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Xander,
spot on. He's only taking right walls.
Yep, he does it again. You know, I was talking to Xander's father earlier today, and Matt basically said, you know, that he was telling Zander that, you know, do the same shot until it works. But if he gets to too many, like maybe 10 in a row of it not working, he needs to shake it up. So he actually just did a straight shot there, like you were asking for, Caleb.
Incredible defense.
It was sort of on transition, though. Ooh.
Oh, what a power shot.
Look at that cut. This is what I'm saying. If you saw that, it's hard to even tell he's about to even hit it. It's just such a fast flick
It's almost like
wrist.
a 1-inch punch.
It's now 4-0.
Kind of testing the waters. There's the first left wall shot.
Oh no!
Oh, there we go. Another one from Zander Bentley.
But this is the time to do that. I mean, not to sound mean or anything, but if David feels like he has this game in a bag, why not start experimenting? Each table is a little bit different, so why not start experimenting with a few extra shots to get ready for his next game if he happens to pull this game off?
True.
Yep, you got to take chances, you got to make mistakes, and quite possibly learn.
You sound like a
Well, and that's it.
school
You know,
bus.
failure is the greatest teacher at the end of the day.
That's true. Oh, beautiful
Indeed.
cross. David is just wiping the floor at this point. Zander goes for that right wall again. Sets back up. Sets up to the middle. Okay, goes for the straight shot. Did you see that? He was about to do the right wall and then corrected himself.
I did.
All
Oh,
right,
let's go
maybe
with
he's
mallet.
learning. Here comes the ref.
Because he let go of the mallet, possession goes to the right. Zander slaps a sticker on himself for good luck.
He's gonna need it. Wow, David goes for a pump fake there.
You know,
Incredible
but did you
maneuverability.
did you see the discipline on Xander's defense? He didn't twitch at all.
Indeed.
No.
I'm way twitchier than that. I shouldn't be, because I tell what my defense is going to be. Here we go, match point to 1. David is only 1 point away from closing out this set, and then it'll be, you know, he'll be only 4 games away from taking this entire match away from Zander, and then it'll be him versus Anthony Spanberger.
I'd say
Well,
a
and
match,
you know-
and
There it
that's
is.
the game.
It wasn't 7-0, and that's something to be proud of.
Indeed, I cannot disagree with that.
You know, it's that 1 point that was scored, actually David scored on himself. So
True.
David must be pretty upset right now. All right, that match was over very quickly. We're gonna switch over to the couch now. I would like to remind everybody watching right this second to throw your comments in there. Throw some encouragement to the players. Give Zander a, some
A little bit
piece
of a
advice.
motivation boost.
Yeah, because he's able to see that right now on the TVs in the room. He's able to see all of that, and when he goes to the couch, they're able to see all of your comments. So this is a perfect time. Like we like to remind everybody, it's a very rare thing for you to be able to contact directly to the players, right? And so as fans, go ahead and throw that out there. I would actually like to take a quick second while they all get set up. I would love to talk for 1 second about Right Now Heating and Air Conditioning. These guys are incredible. Right Now Heating and Air Conditioning, they pride themselves on offering the best prices, best service, and best warranties around. Don't settle for anything less when it comes to your home comfort. Give them a call, 208-585-5868, or visit rightnowheatcool.com. I say it every week. These guys are the reason why everybody in this studio is shivering right now, because we keep it very cold for the players. Everybody else suffers because it's so cold when it's really hot outside. These guys are incredible. They did the work in no time at all. Not only that, because they had to fix our 2 units here. Not only that, but they, like I like to bring up, they wear these little booties that they walk in, and they put on these little booties because they don't want to track any dirt or dust into the house. So while they're up in a 170-degree attic, they're concerned about getting dust on the floor.
That's some serious dedication.
I had to tell them, like, you guys don't have to wear those. Like, no, we're doing it. We do not want to get dust on the floor. Like, we are taking care of you. And they actually left the house cleaner than they came, which I didn't expect. They, like, vacuumed the floor afterwards. I walked in and I'm like, wait, did they change the one over here? Nope, they did everything. So, all right. So Tyler and I are going to go meet you in the other room, and we'll start talking to the players here, and we'll see if we can answer anybody's questions. So feel free to drop a question in the chat.
I love the comment from Brooke Bentley about some extendo arms for Zander. For Zander.
He did pretty good. I mean, that one where he jumped on the table, I love that. I loved how he like worked himself up to it. He's like, all right, I'm doing this right now.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see you on the couch. See you in a second. All right. There's going to be a whole... I mean, do you guys see the giant list of all the comments that have started this game? Look at that.
Grandma and my aunt.
So you got some family watching you today, huh?
Yeah, and my dad.
How many people do you think are rooting for you right now, Zander?
We got Brandon, my grandma,
And that's it, 2
my
people.
aunt, My dad.
He's.
I don't know about
Let me cut to the chase and say
Ivali's,
everybody,
something.
everybody. No offense, David. You know how we always root for the underdog. Everybody's rooting for you, Xander. Like everyone right now. So
I don't know about
So-
Ivali.
no,
She's just there.
Evely. Okay, maybe Evely. I think that she's
Maybe.
she's just betting on the one that she
Oh
thinks is
yeah,
gonna win.
and my
It's fair. Okay, we got there's a lot of people saying a bunch of stuff about you guys in here. There's a lot of questions that they're asking, but Evely was asking, how do you feel after that match? So Xander, go ahead first. How do you feel about that match?
My arm hurts.
Don't tell your opponent that. Be like, I feel amazing. I feel like I
Don't give them anything.
You should have.
my arm is perfectly fine.
You should have said that was a nice warm up, but I
Don't
think
give
I'm
him
ready to
any
play
ideas.
now. That's what you should say. David, how'd you feel about the game?
Oh, so now she's calling me an underdog.
I feel like you said my forehands are like bad or whatever. I think they worked well on Xander.
No, I don't think your forehands are bad. I don't think. I may have said it in the past where you don't want to rely on forehands all the time, and forehands are something you learn at the higher level. You are easily there. In fact, in this stream, I even mentioned I was like, he's got a killer forehand. Watch, like he's got this perfect wrist flick. You're there.
Not only that, you have a lot of variety. Well done.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say is, I mean, this goes out to George Anderson. He said that he will never tell somebody not to do a certain thing because, like, basically anything will work. He said except one thing, and that's a game cannot be won on forehands alone. Just like a match. So do not do only forehands. They're supposed to come in clutch, and that worked for you. You know, that came in clutch.
Yeah.
Xander, you were only doing right walls. Almost every... That's fine, but if they're not working, what do you do, bro? So if it's not working for you...
I'm kind of cooked after that.
No,
You
you do
gotta
a
mix
different
it up.
shot. My goodness, he's cooked. You're already giving up. You still got a set to go, buddy. A lot of people saying good job. I'm trying to look for this. Somebody's saying good focus. Somebody's asking, what's a sticker on your shirt, Xander?
Who's asking?
Who's asking?
He's got his priorities in place.
Actually, to be honest, it's Brooke who's asking.
Spec he just put it on.
So show the camera for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, just show it right.
camera?
It's right there. Right there. That's the Idaho State sticker, Brooke.
Oh, beautiful.
That's an awesome question. Everybody was asking about that. Okay, so David, what's the best match that you've ever played?
I don't remember honestly, but it might be one where I've won against you just because I played the best. You know, I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. You've been doing killer. Like I've been saying, I think that between you and Spec, it's really hard to tell because I've already said it on camera. I believe that by this time next year, you are going to be #1, which bugs me. So every time I beat you now, I just cherish it because I know that those times are coming to an end, right? Everybody used to beat Colin Cummings, but then once he hit 16, it's like those days ended. And everyone, now they just say, oh, I remember when I used to beat Colin Cummings back when he was tiny, but they can't say that anymore, right? They can't say that they can do that now. And so, you know, that's the way I am with you, with Josiah. I'm like, I'm just going to cherish beating you guys. Like Anthony, I beat him yesterday barely for the last thing. And I get to cherish it because I know that I'm going to one day be like, I miss when I used to be able to beat those guys. So, will David rule the league next year? Brooke asks. Yes, I actually think that's the thing. Actually, we'll find out because if you win this set, you go up against Anthony. And I mean, one of you guys is getting kicked out of the Idaho State tonight. Actually, two people are getting kicked out of the Idaho State tonight. Xander, what are you going to do about this next set coming up right here in a minute?
I have no idea.
You heard it from him, folks. He's got no idea. David, any thoughts before the next game starts?
Not really. But
No.
also, Xander, can I give him like...
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So whenever you're playing, you always have your mallet like off to the side. I don't know what that's about,
I'm
but...
trying to bait you, but it's
But don't,
Ah.
don't do that. I'm just saying, don't do
bait
that.
you.
Don't leave the
Well,
block your
it got
goal.
into
Don't
it.
give
It got
the
into
shot
David's
for David. He's
brain,
too
so
fast.
Even if
something's
you're
happened.
blocking like back and don't even know what to do, just have it on your goal.
You may not be able to outspeed him, but you can outsmart him.
Brooke just said in the chat, Xander, if you win a game, Brandon and I will play any game of your choosing with you.
Well, I don't got Discord.
David, I've got one last question. This one's off of the list. This one's just straight from me. How do you feel about playing two matches in the same day if you happen to win this one?
I think I'll be fine because I think I'll have enough energy to play Anthony
Yep.
after this. So
See, for me, I would prefer doing 2 matches back to back because I get to warm up for it. But other
Yeah,
people
yeah.
get drained. So, like, for me, like, I need the warm up. So we'll see how it goes. So, all right. Without further ado, we'll see you guys on the table. And good luck to both of you. Xander, you got to win this set and one more. David, you only have 1 set to go. Good
May
luck
the
to both
best
of you.
player win.
All right, guys.
all right, thank you.
Get on over there. Let's do this. Alrighty, we're about to dive into the second set. Caleb, what are your thoughts about how that set went? What should Xander do to be able to combat the force that David is?
Well, you know, I want to say Zander has been doing a pretty good job at holding his defense. I think that I would open up with still maybe 2 or 3 more right walls just to keep it, keep him in the same line of thought. But then I would throw in a couple cuts or a couple crosses, something to change it up, just that way it would be more effective for goal.
That could be an incredible strategy.
I feel that, Xander, I love his attitude. It was really fun seeing him on the couch. He is our youngest player. He's by far our youngest player, right? So he's 11 years old, and he's going against a 14, nearly 15-year-old right now, which is a huge difference. I mean, you can just see it in their height. You can see it in their reach. You can see it in their strength. And so he's got a huge uphill battle. It's going to be a really fun...
And there's the first score.
I like
Zander
that he was actually putting in. He did a left wall there, and he also did a couple. I want to say it was a straight shot, but I don't know if it was just a miss.
Well, it's already working
So
out
he
for
is
him. I mean,
trying
this
to-
game's already tied up. If he can beat 3 points, and that's, right now that's his record. And if you saw in the last match, the last set, it was 7-3, 7-1, 7-3, 7-1. So he hasn't gotten more than 3 points yet. So let's see if he can pull that off this game. Xander sets it up, goes for right wall. Oh, goes for a forehand. It's way too slow. Oh, and David immediately punishes him for it. You can just see that, like, he not only did he do it too slow, but he missed the shot.
Sure.
David with the right wall. It's now 4-1.
Incredible performance by David.
And David said he's going to be able to keep his energy. That's one thing I've noticed about. Oh, that
What a
forehand.
speed play.
That forehand cut from the right-hand side of the table. Look at the type of accuracy that he had to have for this. From right there, barely makes
Right.
it in the edge of the goal. That's such a beautiful shot.
And something else that David does really well is he doesn't bring it too far up. Even if Zander was a different player, he isn't bringing it past the line before he shoots, which is really, really great. Against another player, someone would come up to contest him here and there, but he doesn't really bring it up too far to really let it go.
Xander gets a penalty call for holding the puck too long. They have 7 seconds to get it across the line, and he took too long on that last play.
David.
And then
Correct,
David, no, then David handed it back to him just to be like, hey, don't worry about it. Like, David's not in it to, he's not in it to try to,
I see.
brutalize Zander. So Zander got a penalty called on him, and so David just gave him the puck back, saying, hey, here you go. He's trying to be a good sport about it.
Yep.
It's hard to be in David's shoes because no matter what, he loses in a sense. Either he beats Zander and the entire internet hates his guts, or he loses and everyone makes fun of him for losing to an 11-year-old, right?
Right. The only way you can win as Zander is to 7-0 David in one match at this point. So even if you lose, you still win.
That's a
You
good
win
call.
The hearts of all the internet.
That's a good call. There's a
Indeed.
final point for that game, 7-2. David bounces it off the left wall, sets it up, does a pump fake, goes for that right wall under. Beautifully executed.
You know, it's funny, when I play on the table, the right walls and left walls are actually harder for me than just straights, cuts, and crosses.
We have Matt Bentley, who was just able to, he was able to make it. He was not able to make it right on time because he, it's actually why we were not able to do his match on Mondays, because he's usually busy at this time for Mondays for right now. But he was able to get off early, and so now he's there coaching his son up for the game. And we're right now starting the second game, or is it already the third game? No, second game.
David takes the goal right off the rip. Ooh,
There we
Zander
go.
Bentley back with a rebound. Right back at you. And there goes the puck.
block. And that block is great because Zander gets possession. Because he's not the one who knocked it off the table. That counts as David's knockoff. So Zander gets possession. He could get in the lead for the first time in a long time here. Goes for a left wall. It's blocked.
It was a nice shot, it was just slow.
Indeed.
The hard thing for Zander too is that Zander is very beatable. When he goes for his shots, they're very telegraphed. So I would say something that he could also work on is to not telegraph his shots so much.
Do you see that? Like how David lost control, then immediately dives all the way to the line to save it. Like that's what is going to make the biggest difference if David goes up against Anthony, is having the possession time. Anthony, his big downfall is he loses possession a lot. Zander sets it up, goes straight down the middle, it's blocked. David steals possession, forehand, another beautiful forehand. That's such a good shot. That's one of George Anderson's signature shots, is that right there, just that flick of the wrist, and it's such a hard shot to block. David once again being a good sport and giving back the puck to Zander after losing possession. Beautiful. I love that. It's on the line, and he was able to get it back to his side of the line without the puck or his mallet fully going over the line.
Absolutely. A beautiful way to manage that puck and bring it back over to his spot.
Beautiful cut. 4-1 now.
So we're gonna see another match today on live.
Today,
Is that correct?
as soon as this match is over, the winner of this match immediately goes up against Anthony Spanberger. And
Now, what ranks Anthony versus David?
well, so you got to remember that these ranks were seeded, and they were frozen as of a month ago, which means that even though now David is doing much better than he was then, so was Anthony and a bunch of other players, these ranks were frozen as of a month ago. And as of a month ago, with the points that they got, Anthony was rated as number 3, and David was rated as number 6. However, if I had to give my own personal rating, I think that David is number 3 in Idaho, in my opinion, and I think that Anthony comes in at about 4 or 5.
Okay.
However, after yesterday's game, because we were playing at the arcade and just doing a fun weekly tournament, Anthony beat David.
Anthony
it was
popped off.
extremely close, but Anthony even took a game off of me. I played David and Anthony yesterday. I didn't have a trouble with David, and I had a lot of trouble against Anthony. And so Anthony is showing some aptitude.
Anthony and David seemed like a little bit of a rivalry, but if Anthony had beaten David previously, as of last night, maybe he has a little bit of experience under his belt and may use it to capitalize against David tonight.
It would be a real fun sight to see. You know, it's those closer matches that are the most interesting and fun to watch.
Absolutely.
This next match, I believe, if it's going to be David versus Anthony, is going to be extremely close. Extremely close.
I think I'm going to be voting for Anthony, even though he's considered number 3, just because I've played against and with Anthony, and I would like to see him continue the winning streak.
You know, and so it's so hard for me to say because technically by rating, it's Anthony is technically rated higher, but it's simply because David doesn't do as many challenge matches. He doesn't have as many rated points, if you will, for winning or losing games. He comes in, he plays the tournaments, and then he doesn't do any challenge matches, whereas Anthony's here constantly challenging people. And so Anthony was able to, I guess you could say, farm some points, and that's how he got such a good seed in this tournament. He has a fantastic, the 3rd seed is fantastic. And so that's today, actually, that game against Anthony is going to be the first game in the second row of, you know, it's considered the second game of the tournament, right? All of these games have been the first game of the tournament, and that will be the very first of the second games of the tournament. And so we're going to see 2 people get kicked out today. And it's looking at this very moment like Zander is going to get kicked out if he's not able to pull some games out. It's now 2-0 in the second set. David is only 2 games away from winning this match.
It's time to find out who will be winning.
You know, and what another good round though by Zander. You know, he still got those 2 points, and he's keeping the game not a 7-0, which is still really impressive.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you saw one of those shorts. It was Jessica versus Josiah, and it was 6-0. And Jessica fires off a beautiful right wall and scores a point. And you can hear Josiah yell out, "I was trying for a 7-0." And Jessica's like, "Ha, you don't get one." And then you hear Josiah say, "I've been trying for months." And we actually put that into a short and put that onto YouTube.
I think I saw that.
It's
and
pretty
it was
great.
Really funny.
It's pretty great. That point does not count because the game didn't start yet. They reset the score on the table. All right. Looks like the game is now in play.
All right, let's see Zander really pull off some good shots here. He's on the good side of the table. You know, they came back off of a little break right there. Here we go.
Now the game's in play. I forgot to listen for the whistle.
As did I.
Nice straight shot.
Oh, did you see that block that Zander just did? That was a beautiful shot
Incredible
from
defense.
Yeah, and now he's got possession back again. David steals it, sets it up. Fake out, right wall under.
What a fake.
You see that, and he froze
Very
Zander
quick.
up. You see that, those pumps that he does, these little jittery pumps, and it causes Zander just to freeze.
Almost like a deer in headlights. You gotta prepare.
You see where David's defense is? He just is like almost towards the line because he's just not afraid of that puck going into his goal. He takes a very offensive approach.
Incredible straight shot from Zander.
That was good. You can hear his dad in the background cheering him on. Oh, no!
And right back at it. All right. Zander testing the waters. Such
Another
a forehand.
straight shot.
David with another goal, 3-1 now.
Fires right back out.
Mm-hmm. Incredible amount of speed from David. Like it just blindsides me. It almost feels
What
like
a
I
block
can't keep
there
up.
by Zander.
Indeed, what a great block. I think Xander's got a lot of defense.
So this is David after 1 year. You know, I get asked the question very often of how long have you played for? How long have you played for, right? And I've played for about 3 years. And David has played for 1, and he's right at my level already. That's why I'm saying next year, because 2 of his years is like 5 of mine.
Ooh.
What a
Was that a
ricochet.
right left wall?
Xander now 2-4, got him on a double wall.
That was almost a score.
Yeah, okay, so you see once again, because Zander didn't move forward on that defense, he now gets possession. He could almost tie up this game right now if he scores a shot right here. Goes for the double wall again. Oh, loses possession. David sets it up. Loses possession. Oh, no!
Trying to reach for it, just a little too far.
I mean, man, you got to dive on that table. And there's nothing scarier than an 11-year-old diving headfirst onto a table because you're afraid if you hit it, you're going to hurt him, right? So you hesitate, and it gives him that advantage. Right wall over.
Incredible right wall.
Now 4-3.
4-3. Come on, Zander. Keep
Zander
it up.
blocks.
Zander may be able to pull something here.
Zander blocks again, gets possession back. Sets up right wall under. It's blocked. He gets possession, though. Goes for the cut, which is something that we're not seeing him do a lot of, and that's awesome. Oh, double wall!
What a
Double wall, and that's how you
Incredible
know
performance.
that he's aiming for those double walls. You know,
And right
He
back
did
at it comes
twice
in
a row.
David.
That isn't luck, folks. That's skill.
Indeed it is skill. Let's hope he can put it to the test and hopefully win this match.
David's having to fight for this win now. Zander sets it up real slow, goes for the cut, blocks it,
Incredible defense, I swear.
blocks again, steals possession, sets it up. Does he tie up the game once again? Goes for the cut. Oh! Keeps possession.
Almost sinks it.
Man, if he had played like this
David
since...
got a nice touch.
If Zander played like this since game 1, this would be a much, much different match.
What a save. He still makes that light tap. Great.
There he goes.
There
I
goes
mean,
David trying to capitalize.
David having to hit a very fast right wall over on Zander just to get a point on him at this point. He's now having to pull out, you know, the tricky shots to beat Zander.
Here comes David.
David trying to close this game out, does not want it to give a win to Zander at all. Ooh, oh,
Incredible defense.
the reach. If Zander had hit that, that could have been a point. David going for a soft hit, seeing if he can throw Zander off. Goes for a
Zander
fast
doesn't
one.
even see me's phase.
No, oh, there
And
it is.
that's the game.
7-4. There's now only
Close match.
one game left. It's now 3-0, but that was so much better. Zander was not able to break past 3 points. And that was a very first game where he was been able to do that. It was 3-1.
Well, you know, he hit 2 double walls in one match. What a beautiful shot. And, you know, most people, if they hit those walls, it's usually they're flubbing it. But you can see that that was a shot purposeful by Zander.
Right. You know, if somebody's a shot one time, you ask yourself, was that lucky? Was that an accident? When they're able to repeat the shot, then you know it's actually been practiced.
Right. That's actually a shot I would like to learn as well on the table, because I feel like not a lot of people use the double wall. And when the double wall comes for you, you almost always flub trying to defend against it.
And you know, it's funny because a lot of brand new players, you know, I go around to arcades and I challenge people for money to see to show them that pro air hockey is a real thing. They don't believe it. They think they can win the money. But I still lose some points on them because of the random double walls that they didn't even mean to do, or
Right.
random off-speed overs. And it's like, I want to tell them how beautiful the shot was, but they don't even understand it. It's like, they don't understand how beautiful that shot was, that if pros could emulate that exact shot, they would. You know, just the random ones
Right.
they pull out, but they're never able to repeat it, right?
Yeah, most times the double walls like that are entirely on accident.
I will say all of my double walls are an accident.
I agree.
It's very rare. In fact, it's to the point where if I ever do a double wall, I'll usually call it out and be like, double wall, and I'll hit one. I mean, not in an actual challenge match, but just so that way if it does go in, then the person believes that I meant to do it. They're normally called garbage
like
shots.
That's like when I'm playing right-handed and I'll immediately yell out stranger and use my left hand to make a shot instead.
I absolutely hate when you do that, but it works. All right, Zander's now coming up to the table. He just got coached from his dad. I mean, what a difference, though, when his dad gave him some coaching. Immediate point scored by David, right wall under. Blocked by David. I think David wants to just close this match out because
You know,
Absolutely.
both these players have really good right walls.
Nice.
Incredible shot by Zander.
Very nice. Was that a cross or a cut?
It was a
That
cross because it went to the
cross.
right-hand side, so that's considered a cross.
Yeah, that was a really nice cross.
It was, and we haven't seen Zander do that, really.
Good amount of speed
No,
from
that was the
Zander.
first one.
And there goes the puck.
I don't know if you could hear that, Caleb. Matt is in the background,
didn't.
and he's like, yeah, get some. So, You know, we don't show you we got both of Xander's parents are watching right now. David's dad is a ref of this game, actually. Ooh, beautiful right wall.
What a right wall.
Another right wall.
So you got a bunch of parents watching. It's so funny because most of the players in the Idaho State Tournament are adults. And it just so happens that the 3 that are not adults are playing all in one night. We should have called this the youth bracket. Xander, let's see if he can get rid of it in 7 seconds. He has to get rid of it. Okay, that was. Oh, and there goes a shot.
Do you see the off-speed shot?
Do you see how Xander
threw off David?
You see how Xander threw his hands up? Even he was like, "Well, I guess that works." He didn't expect it either. He was more surprised than we were. Oh!
And another shot by
great
Zander.
shot, and he's tied it up. First time to tie it up this match.
That's such an early score too. Good job, Zander.
Another off speed, and
it looks like it hit David.
He accidentally touched it.
Yep, it hit David's hand. So then possession goes to Zander. Puck is now back in play. Zander goes for that right wall over. It would have worked on David too. He was out of position, but Zander barely missed it. Zander loses possession.
And there goes the puck once again.
That looked defensive, so I believe it'll go to Zander.
I believe so.
It's fun because we have, I'm seeing a lot of comments about how, it's fun that there's sort of a family sport at this point. We got, Matt teaching his son, and we got right there the ref. That's actually Tim, and Tim is David's dad. And so Tim, although David is much better than his father at gameplay, Tim bought a table, and he's been bringing David to all the practices, and even Tim is now becoming a force to be reckoned with. And so it is sort of becoming a generational sport at this point. In fact, Colin Cummings, the best in the world right now, second place, Jacob Munoz, both of them, their parents, Jacob Wiseman, all of them, their parents started way before them playing and got their kids into it. And so you're watching these guys play right now, and these guys are the next stars of tomorrow.
Sure.
That's why I'm saying next year, David's got my number already, so I'm very afraid of him at this point. I have to enjoy beating him while I can.
I think you'll have a big advantage because neither of these players use their timeouts.
True. That's very true.
I don't either. So does that give them an advantage? I don't know. Ooh,
what a ricochet.
It's such a good defense that Zander has. He doesn't move forward, and so he keeps getting these possessions off of David's shots. Zander with the right shot over. Excellent shot. Check out how this goes over. David has that open still.
All right, this is it. One more point for David Genevicz.
Let's see him get to 5. Come on, Zander.
It's match point 4. David gives it back to him because David doesn't want to end that way.
There it is! Zander brings it back 5-6. First time he hit 5 this match.
Oh, and he loses possession. Oh,
almost.
David sets it up. Is this
David looks like he wants to end this quick.
There it is,
and
right
that is the game.
There he does.
Ruthless game, brought to you by Ruthless Real Estate. Man, Zander got up to 5 points against David. That's incredible, by the way. Caleb, I wish when you were visiting that you could have played against David because beating him is very difficult. So getting 5 points
his shots are very tricky, and he actually is more of a slow-tempoed player from what I'm seeing. I think I would definitely be contesting him a lot more in the front. But his tricky shots would be a little more interesting because most of the players I went against don't use as many tricky shots, and he likes to do the pump fakes.
Agreed. All right, Caleb, we're gonna go bounce over to the table and ask the players some questions. All of the fans out there, this is the perfect time. Throw out some encouragement. Throw out some questions out there that we can answer live for you, and we'll see you on the couch.
What a great last match.
Alrighty, gentlemen. Zander, how you feeling, bud?
Tired.
Yeah. David, how you feeling?
Not tired.
Good. I was gonna say if you're tired, that would be bad news. Okay, do you feel warmed up? That's the next question. Is
Yeah.
are you glad you did this match before? Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad because towards the end,
Xander
well-
versus.
well, during the beginning,
David.
my right walls
David
were
versus
really
Anthony.
bad, and it's because I just wasn't used to just playing in a little bit, I guess, and I needed to warm up. So in the last game, I just hit him harder because I was a little more comfortable with getting him in. So.
I mean, there was some shots that Zander did at the end. Or you probably heard us yelling on the other side. Zander pulled off a beautiful cross. He got really. It's all that soundproofing in there. We were yelling for you, bud, because you had some cuts that you were doing. You got a cross in there. You got some beautiful right wall overs, and we're like, okay. And you got up to 5 points last game. David, I have to say, good sportsmanship. I love that when like he would miss a puck, you'd give it back to him. Don't do that against Anthony. You'll suffer if you do that.
Now, I did have a question for David, actually. Going against Anthony last night, unfortunately, you had lost to Anthony. Do you have anything that you might use against Anthony within tonight's match?
Okay, I think I was playing alright last night. It's just the fact that I wasn't warmed up at all yesterday.
Do you think that tonight may be a good chance for you to move forward with that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird because yesterday I didn't have as much trouble against you. Anthony gave me a ton of trouble yesterday.
Yeah.
And normally it's the exact opposite where I'm like, Anthony's nothing, and oh no, here comes David. Like, I'm afraid to play you, dude. Like I'm saying, I'm glad to be able to beat you right now because that's not going to happen later. Now for every time I win, I should do that thing where I'm like, yeah. So, all right, let's go to the chat and see what questions we got.
No questions.
We got a lot of people that Zander. There's so many people rooting for you. They're like, give us 4 more points, Zander. Let's go. They love seeing your dad coaching you out. Let's see. A lot of great game guys. A lot of people saying that was so close. Bridget, Zander said, Papa is really impressed, Zander. And Tita knew you could give her a 5-point game. So awesome job there. David, are you a fan of Monkey D. Luffy? Your mallet looks like it belongs to a straw hat.
I'm only 100 episodes in, and it's not good.
It's not good.
I'm not a fan.
All right, we're going to bounce into the next game. Do you guys have any questions or any comments before? Actually, David, any tips for Zander before we switch to the next game?
Oh, sorry, what?
Any questions or any tips for Zander before we dive into the next game?
Sorry.
You're good.
I think that you should just hit him way harder. Honestly, that's basically it.
A lot of
'Cause
speed.
you do get really good shots in, and sometimes it's so slow to where like, oh, I can easily block that. But if it was faster, it would have went in.
There was
So-
one that was so slow it worked, and even he was like,
Yeah.
well, I guess that worked.
Indeed. A
All
little
right.
bit of power and control could do the difference.
All right, gentlemen, then David, go jump over there and get ready for your next
Okay.
match. Zander, thank you so much for playing in the Idaho State Tournament. I'm excited to see what you're going to turn into in the next few years with some practice like this guy has. I mean, after only a little bit of practice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I would like to tell everybody about our amazing sponsor, Ruth Kamichek, and Ruthless Real Estate. She's amazing. I love her so much. 208-965-3570. She's the best real estate agent ever. I cannot go off enough about her because she's incredible. Tyler, our house burned down. It burned down in 2018. And so we had to quickly find a house. And not only did she find this house, she actually got the keys late the night before. And snuck into the house. I shouldn't say snuck, but she went into the house first.
Right.
And put up a Christmas tree for us because we were like, there's no way we're doing Christmas. It's in the middle of December. We have nothing left. Should we even get a tree? No, we're not going to get a tree. We're not going to get presents. We have to get a house first, right? And so the next day she's like, okay, I got the keys for you. We're walking in the house. And then there is a completely furnished tree with ornaments all over, a basket with all of like the house cleaning supplies for when you're first moving in. She even got us a TV, like a flat screen TV. And she had that all in there for us. So as we walk in just to see the house, as we walk in the front door and we turn around, there's the Christmas tree, the presents under the Christmas tree, even Settlers of Catan. Have you played?
Yes, I have.
So good. So
That's
good.
incredible amount of selflessness and willing to put your clients before or in front of you. You know,
She's amazing.
Just caring about everyone before yourself.
She really is. She really is epic. So if you guys are in the Treasure Valley here in Idaho, please give Ruth a call. You know, you don't need to look any further for a real estate agent because she's the best. She really is. Like, take my word for it, and tell her that we sent you. So, all right, gentlemen, we'll see you on the table.
All right.
Good luck, David, on your next match here, bud. I hope that you're all
Best of
warmed
luck,
up.
David.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
I'm going to Anthony.
Hey, dude.
Anthony, we're all ready, bud.
You're like photogenic, but with like your voice.
Yeah, I get that a lot. It's the baritone, meaning I have a low tone like my dad.
Alrighty. So it's
You know what a great match that was. At
You know,
the end, that last game, 5-7. I mean, you couldn't really ask for a closer match.
I think that David did a really, really good job of closing out. I think he was also respectful. I think that he gave back the puck a lot of times when he really didn't have to. We're going to see a very different match right now.
Sure. Well, and for all those who are watching, you know, don't forget to like and subscribe. And you know, these tournaments and this live stream, you know, it takes a little bit to put together. So if you appreciate it, you know, just throw down the like.
Agreed. Actually, we have a new poll up right now. David versus Anthony. Who do you think is going to win?
I'm hoping Anthony. I think David's. No, I'm gonna go for Anthony. Yeah, I'm thinking Anthony's gonna win it. It'll be interesting to see what the people say on the polls.
It should be a really interesting game. I'm excited about it. It's so hard because if I were to have voted on this as of day before yesterday, I would have said David, hands down, there's no way he's losing this game. He's got Anthony's number. Anthony's never been able to beat him. After yesterday, I have my hesitation. I think if there was a gun to my head or if I had to place a money bet on it, I would say David has this game in the bag. However, at this point, Anthony's been able to pull off some crazy wins recently. So I really don't know who's going to win this game.
And look at Anthony. I mean, he is dressed. He is ready to go. I mean, you can see he's going to bring it to the table.
Anthony is certainly dressed to impress today.
You know, he likes to put his headphones or earphones in and listen to music and whatnot when he plays. What do you think about that?
I think it's a good strategy. I think the only negative is that you're not able to hear the puck. I know that sounds weird, but sometimes if it hits their hand and they don't call themselves out, you can say, "Wait a second, that didn't hit the mallet." However, I will say the players in Idaho are very honorable. You can usually see when they always call themselves out. So
right.
These players are both getting ready right now. This is going to be an amazing match. I'm very much looking forward to this.
Yeah, actually, Anthony has a 60% overall on the poll going on in the chat. So let's hope he can capitalize and maybe give him a little bit of a motivational boost.
Now, Anthony, did he get any warm-up besides just that right there?
That was it. He played earlier a little bit.
Okay.
But just that's it. Yeah, and so that's going to maybe be a huge deciding factor.
David does have a lot of warm-up.
He does.
With David having a large warm-up.
You're going to see such a different game right now. Already.
Ooh, Anthony gets control, loses it.
Ooh.
What a
David gets
shot.
the first goal.
Beautiful right wall under. And you see Anthony was just frozen up there. Anthony sets it back. See, one thing about Anthony is that he sort of telegraphs his shots, but he's got such a good cut and cross combo, it's hard to block it. His right walls aren't as sharp as David's, and so it's really going to be Anthony seeing if he can get that cut cross in on David.
You know, David has blocked every shot that Anthony has thrown at him so far.
Except
which
that
is really
one.
impressive. It's still that slice right there.
And so that's going to be Anthony's bread and butter. So this game, I guarantee what you're going to see is that right there. So David's going to go for the cut, right wall under combo, and Anthony's going to go for the cut and cross combo, which means Anthony's going to be...
I'm just really impressed with these shots because each player, their shots are on target. It's being deflected every time. So these players aren't missing; they're just getting blocked.
Look at this,
really impressive.
Right wall over by David, set up so well. Then he gets another shot. It's now 4-1 right now. David with a demanding lead, beautiful block. Anthony steals it and then gets the cut on him.
They are fighting each other right
Brings
now.
it back
Everyone's
4-2.
Anthony with a cut again. So that's going to be, like I said, his
Three
bread and butter.
cuts in a row. Anthony has really dominated that shot this round.
But here comes David with an additional point.
Look at that speedy, that right wall under that he's able to pull off is so fast. And so here's the thing. I think what it's going to come down to is that David does have more of an arsenal. Ooh,
Almost
level,
neck and neck.
Ball under.
Oh, such a good level
Here's
over.
a match point for David.
Okay, David could close out this whole game right here. He's setting it up. You can see that he suddenly slows down. Goes for an off goal, gets it back. Goes for, oh, double and loses possession. Anthony with that cut, loses possession.
I can tell that Anthony's trying to lock into that puck. I mean, he's got eye contact all over it.
And David really just wants to close this out. You can tell he's shooting a lot different than he was a moment ago.
Indeed, and that is
Oh, scores on himself.
That's okay. What a good first round. Both of them coming out swinging. You know, the only thing I would say differently, you know, that I could say is Anthony could try to contest him up front a little more. Other than that, both hitting really great shots.
You know, and one thing that I'm noticing is that David still, like, even though Anthony scored it himself, you could see David's face was like, no, nobody ever wants to see that. Nobody wants the player to score on themselves ever. Not the opponent,
Right.
and not
unless it's 0-6, and then you do want them to score.
I've been relieved by it, but I've never been happy about it.
Right. No one wants to get 7-0'd.
Okay,
They'll
so
take the own goal over the 7-0.
So it hit David's shirt, and so yep, possession goes left. Anthony tries for the forehand, and he's just doing some kind of crazy shots. He didn't actually hit anything on goal. Loses possession. David's gonna monopolize on that.
For a slice there.
See, David's bread and butter, like I said, is that cut and right wall under. So there's the cut, and then he does the right wall under combo, and Anthony is just gonna do a whole mess of straight shots, most likely. Beautiful, and there's David's right wall under. If you can see that difference, and it's hard because they both look the same. There's Anthony's cut. There it is again.
It's almost like a back and forth match.
It's such a beautiful shot that David has. And there it is, right wall. It's 2-3 right now. Literally anyone's game. David taking a whole bunch of, this is kind of what I mentioned in the last game. I said he's going to most likely have puck control and have more possession time than Anthony. So Anthony gets it and kind of gets rid of it really fast. Either makes a goal.
What a good fake pump there.
That was good.
To get that slice.
But see how Anthony, if he doesn't make the shot, he gets it back. Goes for another one. Ooh!
Whoa! What a counter shot!
play.
That's going in the highlight reel.
Oh no! And
Incredible
now you're
counter
saying
shot.
that is going to go in the highlight reel.
This could give us an insight for what the rest of the tournament match looks like.
Anthony in the
That
lead now.
honestly swapped up the game right there. Now Anthony taking the lead, 5-4.
And then
David's getting a little excited here.
almost loses possession twice.
Oh, a little bit of shaky from the
Horrible.
puck. Unbelievable control from David right now.
One thing I've noticed about David is that if he starts getting in his head at all, if you beat him in a few games or make him or block a few of his shots, sometimes he can get in his head and get a little bit frustrated. So if Anthony can actually last long enough to get in David's head, Anthony has a serious win condition. Now it's
Oof,
game
that's
point
gonna
to
hurt.
4. And now it is.
Oh,
Game.
there's another shot for the highlight reel.
Oh, that was
What
good.
an unbelievable
That was good.
finish.
As it's pulling back away, he goes for the forehand under. Beautiful game. Oh, man.
2 highlight reels in one game. What a
should be
great play by
impressed.
Anthony and David's match. Man, this game is really heating up. Is why you got to go with who, Nathan? Who do you go with?
You go with one of our sponsors, like Legacy Garage Doors. These guys are absolutely amazing. And thanks for the setup, Caleb. That was beautiful. The service that shows from open to close. I love that slogan too. Give them a call, 208-370-2747. My favorite story about these guys is that we had our spring break on the garage, and it slammed shut, and our cars were trapped inside of the garage, and it was a Friday night, and so I had to call around to a bunch of different places, and nobody answered because it's a Friday, like late afternoon, and only one of them answered the phone, and the one that answered the phone said, "Sorry, we can't get somebody out there until like Monday." So I gave one more a call, and I didn't need to call anyone after that because it was Legacy Garage Doors. They answered the phone immediately, said, "Hey, how can I put a smile on your face today?" They weren't even upset that it was a late Friday afternoon. They came out, they fixed it that very night. Within an hour, they replaced the spring, they replaced all the rollers on it. It was awesome. And so I really appreciate these guys, and I'm really glad that we're partnering with them because they have a ton of integrity. I really appreciate them a lot. So, all right, we're now about to pop into our third game. It's now 1-1.
Man, this game is just absolutely off the rails. I mean, I can't even stay seated in my chair watching this game. I gotta get up and walk around. It's just that exciting.
Indeed, and the best part is it's only beginning. So let's find out what happens next.
David gets the first possession. And just to remind you, the last 2 games were 7-4 David, and then the next one was 7-4 Anthony. So both games have been 7-4. It is exactly as tight as it could ever possibly be.
It looks like they're checking the puck. It might be a little bit. Might need a little bit of sanding here.
Matt's talking about how much he loves this puck right now. If you didn't hear him, he's like, "That's the puck that I hate." He doesn't like it, the fact that it's an all-white puck. Anthony has possession, sets up, goes for the right wall over and scores it. First
What a
point.
shot.
What a power shot. Oh.
It's going so fast, it's hard to read the comments, but I'm seeing so many about how this is a power game, just back and forth.
Oh, that left wall. I mean, Anthony is just hitting the shots dead on. If David doesn't block it, it just goes in.
He is
and so when you see
dominating
David
right now.
blocking some of these shots, it's really impressive.
All right, here comes Anthony with possession. Comes right back to him.
So Caleb and Tyler, I have to tell you, when Anthony has his hat facing forwards, we just call him Womp Womp, because if he scores on himself, but when he puts that hat backwards, everyone in the chat started calling him Dark Antonio. And so that's and so now that he flipped his hat backwards, you can see the chat saying, "Here comes Dark Antonio." So,
Almost like a double life kind of thing.
And sometimes that can really bring your spirit
What a
up, and maybe
shot
that's
by
why
Dark
Anthony
Antonio.
is taking the lead here in this match. Dark Antonio. We love to see it.
soon the eyeshadow's gonna come out, and this guy's gonna just start falling into that
Oh.
role.
He's got
Losing
that
control
aura.
there can really play some mental games, as you can see.
All right.
That shot goes right in.
Tied up game. Oh!
Tied up game.
Oh, the slice!
Play!
Oh, nothing feels worse than that. He was in the right place at the right time and just did not put enough into it to stop the full momentum of the puck. I
couldn't
hate
dominate.
that.
I feel terrible for the editors because the amount of highlight reels they're gonna have to put on there, it's gonna be horrible for them.
Right, you are, Caleb.
David sets it up. He went for still puck. You see, instead of going from the drift, he stopped it. Just like that.
Oh, there goes.
Whoa!
Trying
With
to
the block and the
capitalize.
shot!
Both of them
That cross, you can't stop it!
Both
you
of them
just
were
can't.
blocked.
It just goes and goes.
Both
And
of
the
them
puck went
blocked.
flying.
Anthony gets the point on that. Was beautiful. Anthony, great defense, and then score. David gets possession because Anthony hit it off. David looking at a 3-5 deficit right now. Ooh, possession goes to Anthony.
Oh! Uses the thumb defense.
What on earth happened there?
Yeah,
I
possession.
don't think Anthony even knows.
So
He's like,
what happened there is it popped up and it landed right underneath his thumb. So the penalty goes to David for hitting it off the table. Possession goes to Anthony on the right.
Interesting. Yeah, because from us, it looked almost like he grabbed it with his thumb, but yeah, I guess.
No, that
Almost,
wouldn't be
yeah.
possible. I dare anyone to try.
I mean, he's been on top of his shots. I wouldn't doubt that it wouldn't be possible for Anthony.
I've got a lot of black and blue marks on my fingers that say it doesn't work.
What a defense!
The puck's gonna be flying everywhere this match.
They're gonna give
You
it.
know, the only way that this game could get any better is if I was there at the table to see it myself.
I wouldn't be surprised if the puck had shattered later on with these powerful hits.
It's fun because it's sort of an experimental puck, and we've actually taken some big chunks out of it, so I can see that the
It's
players.
interesting that you say that, Tyler, because yes, that puck actually has a lot of chips from these
Absolutely.
players.
It really does.
There comes a shot by David.
David
hoping to
pulling it.
tie up the game.
Pulling it up 4-5 now. Can David take possession back? Goes for the shot. Deflected. Retains possession. Goes for the right wall under. Deflected. Loses possession. And then Anthony scores
What a
it.
shot by Anthony.
Left wall over. Off speed. That's such a good shot. So check out this shot. I wanted to point out that's slightly slower speed. And it was aimed at the corner. David brings it back up. This is game point right now for Anthony. Can he pull off a second win? This will be huge for him if he can. He gets possession back. Oh.
Here comes the puck.
It did hit the rails, so the puck is it should be out of play, but that was out on David. David now can tie it up. Nope, straight down. Oh,
there
the
comes a
double!
tie.
what
It all
a
comes
double!
down to this.
Oh, David is rushing even
Nice
on a 6-6
counter.
point. David is rushing him. Anthony keeping
Neither of these
possession.
players are fearless. Can
Incredible
Dark
play.
Antonio shut this game down?
That
No,
was-
David blocks it.
The heat is on.
Possession goes to David on that one. He wasn't moving forward when it came out. I think
Can
they're looking,
David
they were looking for a
capitalize with
replay
this
on that
shot
one.
alone?
Yep. It's possession left. Yeah. They can't hear me, but they know.
If I was David,
Okay,
I would
here
call
we go.
timeout right now.
Here we go.
I don't even believe what I'm watching right now. Holy moly.
It goes. Okay, so do you see how David's doing this? Oh
Here
no!
comes
He's
Anthony
losing
with
possession,
possession.
and that's gonna play on his mental.
David. Okay, so David was doing off
But
goals on
Dark-
purpose. David was doing goals that didn't hit on purpose, and then he had it stolen from him. Let's see if he does it again. So he sets it up. He's breathing. Okay. And there it is
And
with a
that
cut.
is
There it is.
David.
There it is.
Settle it.
Oh, this
You
game.
can see David was biting his nails on this shot, but it went in, and you can
Yeah.
see the joy.
You
He
can
jumps
The
up,
risk
throws
and the
his hands
reward.
up.
And even
I
Anthony
mean,
saw
this
that.
game is just so intense. What a match to be a part of.
What an incredible victory by David Genevicz.
That was really, really, really close. So it's now been 7-4, 7-4, and then that last one was 7-6. They tap mallets. They're allowed to get within.
Mallets?
They're allowed to get within 1 inch of the puck, and there's
Here's
a
the
face-off.
game.
David
What a
gets
good
first
block by
possession again.
David. Another good block on himself.
David keeping possession though, and amping up that possession time. It really makes the opponents antsy when you have the puck for a long period of time, even without scoring. Oh,
Looks
okay.
like Anthony
So-
is back
okay.
on the table.
So do you
Dark
see-
Antonio has left the match.
Do you see how David could have not chased it, but he was the one that was moving forward. Any forward motion that hits the puck last is what forfeits the puck. So that's why Anthony gets it right now. Actually, I think Anthony's gotten the majority of these penalties.
And what a
Beautiful.
speed shot by
Beautiful.
David.
And that's, you know, it's funny. That's the very
Good.
first point of this game. They've actually, I mean, their defenses are improving right now as we're watching live. I've seen. Oh, look at that cut. He
What an
stops
amazing
it.
cut.
He stops
So
it
if
dead
I
on the
was-
table and just
If I
goes for
was
the cut.
Anthony in that position, I would definitely come up to the line.
Really though, because
When
look
David's
at.
taking
I mean,
that
even
much
watching
time.
that replay, David looked like he was about to do the right wall under. So if you were to move up, you would leave your goal wide open for that right wall under. And that's, I think,
You
what
know,
makes
it's hard
David
to
so
read.
scary to play against. See, like, so watch this. Guess what it is before he does it. See that? So that was the same shot as before. You would have moved up, and that right wall under would have gone in. Oh, it's so tricky. His wrist is it's so masked. His shots are so hidden.
Nice.
Here's the
Good
first
goal.
point by
Oh,
Anthony.
left wall.
Watch his wrist on these shots. It's like you don't even, you can't.
Oh,
Ow.
that's gotta hurt.
That's gonna affect gameplay too.
You might need a little bit of a timeout on that one.
And players are allowed a medical timeout because injuries like that happen. There's been lots of blood on this table. Yeah, I mean, even that shot was a lot weaker than before, so I'm wondering if it's already affecting his gameplay. Beautiful cut. That's what, 3 cuts in a row now, 1 right wall under for David.
Sure. And that's that's why I would prefer to contest those at this point, because he's really hitting them in right now. And whatever his strongest shot is, that's the shot you got to block.
So you're entirely right. So when Caleb is talking about contesting the shot, what he means is that Anthony should rush the puck when David has it. You see how close David gets to the line before hitting it. Anthony should jump out there and catch him on it, because if he starts doing that a few times and does it successfully, then David is going to start shooting those shots from a lot further back, and it will throw off his entire groove. You've thrown off the Emperor's groove. Sorry. David hits it right down the middle. It's blocked by Anthony. Anthony. Oh.
Takes a nice shot, but it's slow. Like you say, I wonder if that injury really did slow his shot.
Do you see those transition shots that David takes though? Like even there, he's just always in that attack mode, and that's something I love about David is that it's very little defense and all offense. His defense is an extremely strong offense. Like that right there. He could have stopped and reset it, and he just goes for it.
He really likes to just quickly shoot.
What a shot by David.
Okay, tell me though, you would have contested that. You would have jumped out. Watch this shot by David. You would have jumped out there, and your right wall under would have been wide open.
I don't think I would have contested that. So when I contest is when the puck is moving forward as he's going forward. But there, he actually had the puck stationary for the most part. See how it's more stationary right there?
Well, I mean,
as he's going forward. So right there, I would have tried to contest because he's still going forward. That's when I try to contest, is when it's going forward.
So
when
David
it's stationary, then I don't.
David's actually one of the best in Idaho at being able to hit the puck during a drift. So drifting is when you're going back and forth on the side of the table. It's now game point to 1. Man, David has a demanding lead this game. But against Anthony, he keeps it still instead because he's seen that that's working. Okay, so there you go. So there's the drift, right? So that's him drifting back and forth. That's the drift right there again. And he's fantastic at hitting those from the drift, but he's finding it's just easier to hold it still against Anthony, and it causes Anthony to freeze up. Down the center, it's blocked. Anthony's possession.
I want to say that ever since Anthony got on the table, it's not looking as good. I think Dark Antonio needs to come back.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that. He flipped back to regular womp womp. Timeout call. There you go, Caleb. I hope you're happy.
That's good.
Time to bring out Dark Antonio.
Each player has a 10-second timeout per game, per each game. And so this is Anthony's timeout right now. I think that's actually not a bad time. I think that I would have called it a few points ago. They say that when an opponent gets 3 points in a row, you should really call a timeout just to reset them.
Oh, and that is the game.
Just put his foot on Anthony's throat in that one. Just wanted to close it out. Check out this double shot right here. He hits it, it rebounds back, and immediately with the right wall under. Well played, great transition.
It's really interesting. That last match was so brutally close, and then to go to 1-7, that's really going to play on his mental.
It really is. It's very true. I mean, so right now it was 7-4 in David's corner. And then Anthony 7-4'd him back. And then the next 2 games, 7-6 and then 7-1. So either David just figured out Anthony's, the key to Anthony's game, or Anthony was trying something new and he's going to revert back.
Right.
So
I think if someone could talk to Anthony right now, someone's got to tell him Dark Antonio, because the big difference there.
Oh, well, no. I thought he was going to do it just now. I thought he was going to flip it backwards. Someone in chat, because right now, what Anthony's doing right now is reading the chats. There's a TV on the wall.
Yeah, sure.
On the opposite side of the table.
Type in, Anthony, go back to Dark Antonio because you were on fire.
Maybe Dark Antonio and Womp Womp could be more of like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. Could be the same person overall.
David, Anthony, if ever you scored on yourself, Anthony would say out loud, Womp Womp. And so we nicknamed him that, and he hated it. And so when he's playing badly, we call him Womp Womp. When he's playing good, it's Dark Antonio, apparently. And that's funny because Dark Antonio was a fan-given name from the fans that were watching. We're about to jump in to what could be a set game for David. If David wins this next game, he wins the first set. If Anthony wins this, he'll need to win 2 more.
All right,
David
here
with
comes
first
David
possession.
With the first possession.
Yep. Anthony steals it back though.
Anthony, all 3 shots so far have been in goal, and David's blocked all of them. There's one that would not go in,
What
but
a
that
shot
one does.
by Anthony.
Anthony's really hitting some good straight shots, and if David doesn't bring up his defense, it's not good. His shots are just on target all of a sudden. Anthony really coming in strong here.
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, if Anthony can get in David's head a tiny bit just by blocking, his best shots, he really has a nice highway to victory. David has a really hard time. When he starts getting in his head, he has a really hard time correcting. And then he starts to make mistakes. He'll play a lot faster. And so Anthony really just needs to survive a tiny bit to wear David down. Beautiful shot. That was a great right.
Man, his left walls, I don't know if I see anyone else do a better left wall than Anthony.
It's good. You see how he sliced it too? He didn't hit it face on.
He's clean with his shots.
Ooh, the changeup, but doesn't fool David.
What a game so far. Oh, here we go.
But that's right back at him.
2-4 now. David, I just saw him wipe his brow, so he's already feeling this game.
Maybe Anthony's already getting into his head.
You can tell that, David, he's slowing it down because of that. He's like, okay, I need to take a second. He's hitting, to the wall.
See, he just missed 2 shots in a row.
Oh, there we go. David had to capitalize
that
there.
Is a highlight
right
reel
back
overhand.
at David.
Anthony right back. It's now 3-5. Anthony taking a nice lead in this game. David, still puck, gets it.
Incredible
Nice right
performance
wall.
by these two.
Man, Anthony's gotten him on so many serves, but that time is one of the first serves I think I've seen David block this game.
All right, David with possession.
Again
Can he capitalize?
Again with the still puck. Look at how slow that puck is moving, and it works for him.
And here we
ties
go.
it up.
5-5.
Oh, and then Anthony loses possession. Anthony had a 2-point lead, and now David's only 2 points away from closing out this entire set, which would remove Anthony's 1 win. David was possession at 5.
Testing the waters.
5-5, we always say, is this really important point to who can get that 6th point. It's so important. And there it goes.
There you go.
He's now at set point to 5. Can Anthony tie this up and win it?
That was a good fake. Doesn't quite
and
connect.
there's the
But there he
cross.
does. With the cross.
Beautiful cross. Does David close out the set? He does on the right wall
He
under.
closes the set.
7-6. You can see Anthony yell. He's not happy about that. Once again with the still puck, it's barely moving, and then he just fakes him out, froze him, and went for the right wall under. David looking pretty happy. Oh man, these players are gonna bounce over to the couch.
The excitement. We are really excited to go to the couch this time to see what they're gonna say, because that was an intense match. I'm sure both players have something to say.
Absolutely.
This is gonna be exciting. For those of you watching, please subscribe. Please share this with your friends. Get everybody as excited as we are about it, and also throw some questions in there. And we'll see you on the other side.
Oh, my TV has no cable connection. Wow. Hey, David. Did the TV work when you were over here? Yeah. Nathan, there's no cable connection. I can't reach chat.
Uh-oh, something wrong?
Low-key couldn't have won the puck hit something.
Hey, bring out that dog Antonio. The whole chat's asking for it, man.
Bro, that last game came out.
You made me put on double protection.
Double protection.
Double protection.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Your whispering is very ominous. Is my dad in the chat?
Can people hear us right now?
Yeah, 100% they can hear us.
Woo! Fluffy Dragon Slayer, I'm not reading the manga. That's garbage.
David's
mentioned
David was a fan
cheater
favorite,
here,
but I don't think he's gonna be a fan favorite anymore if he keeps insulting anime.
No, it's just one
What's up?
That's it.
Skynards is for Anthony.
Skynards.
That's
was
right.
so long ago.
That was a long time ago.
I wanted to mention it after the one with like Zander, but I guess it was like.
It's so funny that way people get nicknames and
Read the manga
the
and
lore
stuff.
behind all of our characters. It's
All
kind
mine
of
was
getting
I put
ridiculous.
my hat backwards and I started kicking butt.
I mean, that's lucky. Amoog and the whole cousin thing, that was pretty funny too. So I mean, mistakes happen on the live chat. So we've got you didn't remember about that?
Also, my
Matt?
bad. It's not garbage. I just don't
it
prefer
was so
it.
it was so funny.
The
All right,
manga. I just don't prefer it. I guess.
gentlemen,
It's not garbage.
how'd you feel about that game? Anthony, I'll start with you.
I definitely could have done better. I don't know where to start.
Well, what could you have done better?
I could have landed more shots. Could have focused more. Slowed down a little bit. I was playing really fast. I didn't set up my shots much.
May I ask, what exactly do you think brought you down during that phase?
Gosh, I think he just got in my head a little bit.
That's fair. I understand.
It's fast. What's it called? Left wall under, I believe.
Absolutely.
No, his right wall under.
Yep, right wall under.
Screaming
Killing.
fast. That's the thing. So he's got a good strategy, that cut right wall under combo.
That and a fake out like none other.
Yep. Caleb was suggesting, so he's joining us on Discord right now, and Caleb was suggesting that you need to contest him at the line a bit because that'll scare him away. But I'm like, it's too risky because his right wall under is masked so well with his cut that if you jump out, you're just gonna leave your goal wide open for the right wall under. And so you just have to take away his cuts first, and then immediately after that he shoots it. If it's not the cut, you back over to the right wall under and block that. David, what did you think about that game?
That was very, very close, actually. Even though I did win, like, the majority, that was still really, really good.
I know it's funny because whenever I've won like 4 games to 0 games, and I'm like, it's close, people are like, that wasn't close. I'm like, no, it really was. 7-6, 7-4, 7-4. There was only one game in there that was a blowout game.
Indeed.
7-1 is a pretty dang good score.
It's truly something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That game made me mad.
I bet it
I don't
did,
know
but
what
hey, at
happened
least
that
you didn't
game.
get 7-0'd. But I mean, like, his shots are just killer, but you have this nice cut that you're doing. And also, you've been getting him on the off speed, the left wall over. So I would say to keep that up. Be careful about his cut, right wall under combo. That's the combo that he's using. If you can take away his cut, you have time to block the right wall under. You have a split second more than the cut shot. So like, if you want any advice, it's block the cut first and then back up to block the right wall under. And then you're gonna force him to start using some crazy stuff like left walls and overs and off speeds and things of that nature. So
It's hard blocking his right wall
yeah.
because it's fast. You see it.
Absolutely. It's almost lightning
Well,
fast.
you're
then
going
when
all the
I
way
focus
back.
too much on
You
the
don't need to
puck.
pull all the way back. You just need to go from straight to like 7 or 8 inches to the left, and you're good to
Yeah,
go.
I focus too much on the puck, and so I was watching him, just watching him go back and forth, and that's what's throwing me off.
Here's one really risky piece of advice, and I've only been able to use this on like 3 or 4 players, and I've been told that people use it against me and it works for them. And this is from like the pro level, like George Anderson. He's like, man, we always say not to do this, but against you, it's working. And it's helped me on a few very rare games, and that is to look at their mallet and their wrist instead of the puck.
It's also a good point.
Give it a try. It might work against David because he has this really nice wrist motion, but when you're watching where the puck is going to go, it could go either way. But if you're watching where his wrist is going to go, he tells a little bit with that, but not much. It's very hard to beat David.
Yeah.
David, advice for you is just to, I don't want to just say keep doing what you're doing, but your cut and right wall under is screaming fast. Don't get in your head. That's my advice for you, is if he's able to block those, don't be like, what's happening? Nope, keep that up. I saw you did on that last point in like 2 games ago, you did an off goal and then another off goal. It was like 6-6, and then he stole it from you, and I could see how mad you got. And I was like, oh, don't get in your head, David, don't do it. So well done keeping your cool when he stole it, your off goal, because there's nothing worse than being like, I'm just going to do an off goal and get it back, and they steal it. It's like, no, that's not fair. That wasn't even meant to be in the goal. Like, what are they doing over there? Like, why are they taking that? So we got so many messages in the chat. I'm going to have to start finding and picking through them.
Oh, Rapido.
Well, you
Agile.
move it forward, so we decided that's womp side. It's when you move it back that you're Dark
Yeah, but when I
Antonio.
put it forward, I was actually winning games. And when
You
I
got
put
a
it backwards,
point.
I lost 7-1.
Dark Antonio's name.
Could be a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing, you think? A double life.
You got a lot of people, actually right now in the poll, I believe it is a straight
comment?
50.
It's a 50-50, yeah.
It was highly in
I
your
was
favor.
incredible.
2 minutes
It was in
You-
favor of Anthony by like
Yeah,
60% of the
you-
poll.
You had the majority
Get
vote.
wrecked.
Get wrecked. You had the majority vote. Losing the first set only dropped you to 50%. Like, He's 7-1, dude, and still it's only down to 50.
That just goes to show how intense this match has become.
David
Exactly.
doesn't have a
What time is it,
nickname.
7:30?
Actually, David has 0. Do you have a nickname? I haven't heard any
I
nickname.
don't think you got a nickname.
They're
You
calling
gotta
you.
earn it.
They're calling you agile like a cat. Scott's gonna be
Bill
really.
Rapid.
Scott's gonna get really upset about that because
Yeah, Bert gave me my nickname.
it would be so amazing if you had that.
What'd
All
you
right.
call him?
I should get it just for the funnies.
You should. All right, guys. We'll see you on the table. Good luck. If anybody has any questions, you can pop them in the chat now. We'll see you. We'll see you in a second. Good luck on your next.
The question that I had.
What was your question?
I was asking Anthony where the fire was, why he's rushing so much.
I didn't.
Anthony, you are rushing your shots a lot. Puck,
Indeed.
like possession time, is like 9-1 in David's favor.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the last game, I started slowing it down a little
Yep.
bit more, focusing on my shots, and that's when I really landed them. So
I mean, that still puck is working really well. It's freezing you up. David's using still puck. Normally he shoots from a drift, and he's like, nope. He's just going still puck and aiming that cut on you. And so start memorizing where he's doing the shots from, because if he's even 1 inch or 2 inches over, he does a different shot. So be careful on that.
yeah.
So, all right, gents. Yeah.
Hey, kick his butt.
Good luck to both of you.
May the best man win.
Yeah.
Go David. Well,
All right.
the best juvenile man. That's a little You're right. My bad. You're on the left side. Sorry. David, you're right.
And we're starting the second set. Anthony picking his music. I have to tell you though, I really hate Anthony's playlist so much. Like when I like to listen to a lot of like a League of Legends. They've got some really amazing songs that are just about like becoming the champion and just fighting an uphill battle constantly. Anthony likes to listen to like, I don't want to start naming stuff because I'm gonna get a lot of hate in the chat, but like Call Me Maybe and
Okay, like California Girl kind of thing.
It starts
other
with my
day-
toes and I wiggle my nose.
Something like California Girls.
The other day he was like, "Oh, I got Kesha playing. Yeah, I'm gonna do so good with Kesha." And he was just going off about Kesha, and so I was like, "Ketchup? I guess it is my favorite condiment." And he was getting really upset, but like his playlist is not what you would expect the pump up music to be. Beautiful.
What a shot
okay,
by
so
David.
that's what I'm talking about with David. From the drift, watch this. He's drifting it back and forth, and he's able to get that cut through. And it's rare that you see him even doing that in this match.
Well, you know, the biggest surprise for me is that we see Anthony here and not Dark.
3-0.
Incredibly ruthless this game. Holy moly.
Nice block. And David gets possession back again.
Looks like David's is performing extremely well in the beginning of this match.
He definitely seems to have a lot of energy right now.
Absolutely.
Before this game finishes,
What a fake!
the shot. Before this game finishes right now, there's technically 8 people still in the tournament. With these 2 players and 6 others. And after this game, there's only going to be 7 people left in the Idaho State playoffs. Ooh, he's been practicing that one, but he missed it. Beautiful. It's such,
Oh man!
there's no wind up. A lot of players pull the mallet back before the shot, and he doesn't. It's a very split second pullback. Like that's a lot different. He pulled way back and froze it, but they call that the release. If you have a very
he
good,
makes it look, you know, right there, it looked like he was gonna go for a right wall.
right. So that's what I'm saying.
It was hard to contest it, even though it would have been a good contest right there.
That's
It would have been
exactly
hard to
right.
contest it with
That's
the way
exactly
he had it.
right. His release is so perfect, it's really hard to tell which way he's hitting the puck. I would not want to be in Anthony's shoes right now.
It's funny you say that because, man, this game, it makes me want to be on that table and face both of these players.
You know, we got a lot of that in the chats where they're like, I could beat these guys, and it's like, no, you really couldn't.
As you said earlier, either Nathan or Caleb, it is truly like a mental battle out here. Like, it's not just your puck and your mallet. It's a lot more strategic. It's a lot more, it's a mental battle, almost.
Well, when you're this level of a player, you know, it's those slight twitches in the wrist. It's those the movement, the moving forward, you know, to the line. It just every little movement makes a difference.
Absolutely, it can make a world of difference, if not and just finish the game. You know, incredible replay.
Shot.
Look at that forehand to the oh no, it's now 6-0.
No. 6-0 in favor of David.
There's a lot of players right now that'll start sniffing the air if they're in David's shoes. They're like, what's that smell? And then they score the last point and they'll go, it was a skunk. Is David going to skunk Anthony in a game? That would be,
Anthony said, no way. He turned his hat around. He's like, I cannot get 0-7.
Is this truly the fall of Dark Antonio?
Oh no, and even Zander couldn't get 7-0'd by David. Oh, it's still good. It's still live.
Puck is still live. Can Anthony capitalize for at least 1 point?
Oh man,
Anthony is
this is almost as intense as a 6-6 right now. David he misses a shot.
Nice touch by Anthony.
Because it's such a demoralizer if David's able to pull this off. Oh man, he blocks it from the front. Sets it up. Goes for the drift. Goes for an off goal, loses possession. Anthony sets it up, loses possession right away.
Great defense tactic by David.
This back and
forth. That is the first game.
Scores on himself.
Sends you to the hospital on that one.
Oh,
My
scores on
gosh.
himself. Oh, you could hear it. Let's see if I can bump up the mics in there. You can hear it a little bit more. Oh no! See, you can hear Matt right now say, "Hey, didn't Zander never get 7-0'd?" And so.
Oh no!
Right.
I mean, and that's really gonna play. You know, change that playlist because it's not doing you favors.
Oh man. So I mean, right now, Anthony losing the very first game that badly, 0-7. You can tell that, I mean, that's going to change up his whole mentality. So either Anthony's going to buckle down right now and give it his all, or he's going to start caving in his mind and thinking to himself that he can't do it.
Sure.
Getting 7-0'd is the ultimate embarrassment in
Indeed
air hockey.
it is.
If Anthony can come back this match, this round, that's what he really he you know, to come back, that's the only way he's going to take control of this match. If he loses this match, I want to say this round is actually the most important round for the rest of this match.
I mean, I've seen people get 7-0'd and then win the next game, right? And so that's going to be the question: is what type of game Anthony's going to turn this into? Is he? Oh, that's such a good shot!
Incredible capitalization.
Look at that right wall over. Oh, so good. I wish I could right wall over like Anthony. I mean,
you know what
David's
I
got some
would
good
really
shots.
like to do as a shot? I would really like to do like aim for what looks like a left wall. Hit the puck toward the left wall, but then instantly switch my mallet and hit a right wall instead, while it's going towards the left wall. So
like
a
a switch
slow
up?
left wall into an instant fast right wall. Something like that.
Yeah, no, those work.
I'd like to see. I haven't really seen anyone quite do that yet.
They-
It would be a hard setup, but it would be cool.
They call that clutch. You don't want to do that every game. You don't want to do it all the time because it gives it away. That's something you do if it's like 6-6, or if like you're just trying to get one quick extra point, but it's not something that works all the time.
Absolutely. It
Ace
just
in the
comes in
hole.
handy whenever
You know?
it needs to be.
It's that last card up your sleeve, and you hold it for that one moment.
Nice
Similar
shot.
to a wild
3-0.
card.
I mean, it's 3-0 now, and Anthony, you know, we're wondering how he's going to react to that 7-0, and it seems like he's reacting in.
It's showing it.
You can see it.
You know,
You can see it on his
he
face
needs
right
to-
now.
he needs to start with Dark Antonio. He keeps waiting until the last point to turn out on Dark Antonio. I don't understand it because like he was coming out with speed, precision. He was incredible to start this game.
Could this be another 7-0?
Watch a shot by David. I mean, he's just going back and forth, and then just like instant right wall under.
That was good. That was really clean.
Oh, that was in, and it bounced out. Anthony must be so furious right now.
Could this be another 7-0 in favor of David? Only one way to find out.
Anthony is trying desperate. There it is.
There is the first point by Anthony.
That's got to be the biggest relief.
I was going to say,
that's
why I'm like, I got to see his face. I want to see how he feels. Nope, 5-1.
And there's back at it.
Oh, it looks like Anthony's starting to move a little bit.
Anthony slams his mallet down.
He's getting a little frustrated, but you can see that's honestly, I like to see that he's got a little bit of energy coming back.
Well, some players do really good when they're up against the wall, kind of like we call it the Seabiscuit syndrome, right? Like when you are losing and you play so much better that way. But the problem is that David knows how to close a game out. That's really hard for most players, but as we saw in the last match, he knows when to put his foot on their throat and crush it, and you're going to see that right now. Loses possession. I think David is going to close this match out hard and very quick. He does not want Anthony to get on a roll. He wants to crush Anthony's spirit.
I wouldn't be surprised if David took home everything at the end of the tournament.
So do you see how David moved forward right there? Yeah, so do you see how David, he moved forward on that block, which means possession goes to Anthony.
Are you ready?
At least it's supposed to.
Are you ready?
I believe he was moving forward on that defense. David sets it up. Oh, it goes off and hits his stomach, so it goes to him anyway.
Are you ready, Sandy? Yes. It's that ship out in front that keeps making it fly off. Are you guys ready?
All right, here we go. Can Anthony come back from this 5-1 deficit?
It's happened.
And he gives the puck right back to David.
David goes for that forehand. Anthony could have snagged it and didn't. David goes for that forehand again, loses possession, and David taunting him now, and Anthony gets him with all over. Very good. You can see it in the replay that
paid off.
David was sort of taunting him like, hey, you're not going to get anything straight past me, because that's Anthony's best shot is those straights, and so David's like, nope, you can't get that through, and so then Anthony gets him with an over. David missed that shot, sets it up, misses another shot, loses possession. Anthony goes for that over. It's blocked, but it was on goal. And the beautiful cut by David.
And that is game point for David. Can he capitalize with one more to go?
And that's the thing. David's not going to let off. Yep, double wall. Yeah, okay.
Wonderful.
You can
David
see,
locks down the match.
You can see David's upset about that because that's not the shot he went for. That's why they call it a garbage shot. So watch David's face right here. He's actually like upset. He even taps on his goal like, hey, I'm really sorry, that shot wasn't supposed to happen. Which seems insulting, but it's actually the very opposite. It's David saying
he was going for a right wall over.
David's saying I missed really bad and somehow I got lucky, but that was a missed shot and it should never have gone into your goal.
You know, sometimes though, I'll throw a flub shot out there just to throw it out there. You know, I know it's. So
but
when
if you do it on purpose,
shot,
it's the
purpose.
The difference is intentionality. And so there's a lot of players. I mean,
he wasn't intentionally flubbing that.
So if I purposely do a double wall, I'm going to be excited about making it in. If I accidentally do a double wall and it makes it in, and I've said this many times before, I would rather get a shot blocked that I hit exactly where I wanted it to, rather than make a goal off of a shot that I didn't mean to hit it where it went. I would rather be accurate and know that it's helping my game out for the long run.
You're against calling coming.
No. Then I want every shot to go exactly where I want it to go.
Just make it in there. Take number one.
But see, the thing is, if you accidentally beat Colin Cummings, are you going to be able to do it over and over and over again? You want to win because you played really well.
What you do is if you beat him and you take number one, you fly to Alaska, and then no one can challenge you. They have to go to Alaska.
that will only work for 1 year until the next World Tournament, right? And then all the stats reset.
The best year of your life.
It's funny because
I hope the viewers are enjoying the show here and the tournament. You know,
Well, you know, we even have some people in I want to thank you, Caleb, for being able to remotely commentate. I want to thank Tyler. This is Tyler's first job commentating. Actually, I would love to see some love for Tyler in the chats because I think he's doing a killer job for his first time. He's only even been here twice, I believe, and he just got thrown straight under the bus on this one.
Not really. I don't really need a whole lot of attention, but it would be nice. I mean, you folks, please give me advice or please judge me on my performance. Either way.
He's like, no. Okay, go on then.
Well, any piece of advice would be helpful. But in the meantime, back to the action.
First possession goes to David. Again, oh
what?
No!
Unfortunate.
He went back away because he saw that it was unstable and it bounced into his goal. David
the real
loses
question
possession.
Is that going to make this game change all of a sudden for
David?
Anthony?
Possibly. Man, that puck is really unstable this round. We might have to switch pucks because almost every shot it's becoming unstable. And that's what happens. Pucks have a shelf life. At the very start, they're awful. They don't play well at all. And they fly off all the time. And then pucks have the sweet spot of their lifespan where they play really well. It's called being broken in. And then they get torn to shreds and they're awful. And so like pucks, just like most things, have a worn in phase and then they go to garbage. Beautiful right wall over.
Incredible right wall by Anthony.
Oh,
and here's a return by David. Also, quick reminder, thank you all in the chat for my beautiful voice.
Thanks, guys. Right back to David.
Incredible
back and forth.
shot by
These
Anthony.
shots are not getting blocked.
Oh, here's a little bit of a
David
fumble.
has to be upset. It hits his shirt. I just recently got a new jersey and it's extra long on purpose, so it looks really dumb when I'm just standing there, but it's long enough to where the goal that I'm leaning against can keep my shirt from laying on top of the table. So it's kind of funny. We're actually starting to invent our own jersey and what a jersey actually would need to be functional on the table.
This game is truly heating up with a 3-3 beginning.
I mean, right now, this is gonna sound really mean to say, Anthony right now has more points than both of his last games combined.
All right, here's David with possession once more. What incredible speed and defense by Anthony right now. I mean, shockingly.
So that one goes straight to Anthony because David hit it off. We might even suggest them using a different puck at this point.
Could be an option, but it could change the tide.
I mean, that almost makes me want to do it even more. Tyler, this is like insider trading.
Indeed.
Tyler, a long time ago, oh, nice right wall over. Anthony now in the lead for the first time in, 3 games? We were asked once in the chat, they said, how much can we pay you to help change the game?
What a sneaky shot there.
Indeed, what a sneak by Anthony. Scoring him a 5 over a 3 from David.
David
with a return.
Nice cut.
Here's David with possession. Amazing. Back to a 5-5. The third tie of the game.
Oh,
and here's the game point for Anthony.
Oh, and there it is.
There it is.
Under Anthony's belt.
Unfortunate way. 2 of the goals that match on David was by himself.
Incredible.
David losing the first game in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was 5 games, and Anthony just winning his second game in this match.
You know, something to be known here, too, is 4 of the goals that David made that match were cuts. And if Anthony had just contested him on any of those shots, it could have, again, made another big difference there.
Absolutely.
Even though he won that match, I say it once, I say it again, he just needs to get up to that line every once in a while, at least enough to throw him off. If by not going up ever, that allows David to just completely, every time, take whatever shot he wants with no threat of...
And I think using that, David has been able to dominate this entire tournament match.
Right.
Although I've been seeing in the chat from a few users that it could be time to retire the puck. My personal view on this, it could be either either or positive or negative. It could bring a substantial change towards this, end of the game. Like it could bring hopefully more positive outcomes, meaning the puck would fly everywhere. But it could also change up the playing styles of both players.
Absolutely. You know, and there's a couple different pucks there and a couple different tables there.
Matt's
and
showing you.
one of the
Do you
pucks
see
there,
that chip out of
is
it?
a little faster.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
could be.
So the players right now are they're trying this new puck and they're seeing if they like it. This is not a new puck. It's actually a very worn-in puck. It's actually one of the mustard pucks, the yellow with the white tape on top. So this is actually the traditional puck that the USAA sanctions for these types of matches. But the players both agreed to use the white, but now they're agreeing to use this one to see if it'll stay on the table a little bit better, because the other one had so many chips taken out of it recently. It's played in a lot of matches. David, first possession again. And you can see at the bottom of the screen, he's had first possessions double that of Anthony.
Once again, I just wanted to say...
Beautiful. Look at that, and it stayed on the table right while under, so blazing fast. And then
And
return.
one right back from Anthony. Incredible performance from these two. Right back again without any hesitation.
This is a puck with only offense and 0 defense, apparently. It's crazy how much different a mallet, table, and puck can make on a game.
Absolutely. We are back at a tie position.
If
It's
Anthony
mostly
can
return
take
to
this
sender.
game here, you know, it's anyone's match. And then he could still come back and take this set, and then we could have a really good match.
Incredible
Whoa!
amount of energy
How did that shot even
immersing
go in?
from
Let's
both
see
of
the
these
replay
players.
on that one.
What
Goes
a
to the left,
shot!
takes the shot, it hits right at the edge.
Is because
Man.
Anthony thought it was going to be that right wall under, and he hesitated and moved 1 inch to the left before trying to block it.
We are 3-3 with 4 to go for both teams.
This is why you should never twitch on defense. If you twitch even a centimeter, you could lose a point.
Absolutely. Twitching on defense is never a good sign. All right, Anthony with position, and it shoots right back into David's position.
If I was David, if I was Anthony right now, I'd be looking to prep for a shot and then take a timeout.
That could be a key detail that could win him the game.
Beautiful right wall under.
Oh my goodness, this is neck and neck.
Oh, this one flew off too. So, I mean, the thing is, if you do hit a puck too hard, it's going to fly off the table.
Of course.
And so, Anthony, and the low tops seem to throw it off the table more than often than not. They're talking about trying to catch it midair.
All right, David with possession.
Oh,
And he hands it off to Anthony.
He gives it back to him. I don't know if that was purposeful or not.
I don't even know if David knows
think
what
that was
happened.
purposeful.
I think he just lost possession trying to charge up
I
a move.
think he was just mad that the puck flew off.
You know, it was like a brain fart. You know, sometimes you just
Quite literally.
That was such a good from the drift, and then Anthony
Oh
serves it
my
back
God,
5 to 5.
five
He has been returned to sender the entire game.
This is really a big match right here,
Ooh,
and
this is defense.
great defense.
Incredible.
Puck is spinning, gets a straight shot blocked by
Oh!
David,
And
he
here's
gets
an
another cut,
advantage
it goes
by
in.
Anthony.
Game
Can
point.
he capitalize?
Oh, here he comes. Oh no, he flubs. You can see
Passes
him.
it to David, but it goes right back to Anthony. Anthony
Back
has
into
control,
Anthony's
goes to the
possession,
right
and
wall,
David,
lets
then
go,
Anthony
control, passes
again.
it back and forth.
David went over the line, and so then possession goes to Anthony.
The chat is going crazy over this match, and David now
I think there
has
was an injury
60%
called
of the
for a
poll.
timeout.
David's got an injury. He's wrapping it with tape right now.
Oh my god. My brother got one. He busted a vein.
Oh, I should turn up the volume, and you can hear the.
It sounds like he popped a vein.
Oh no, that could mean a world
Why
of difference.
couldn't he do that on
Which
camera? Okay,
You
so
know,
so
in
Caleb,
this
do
kind
you
of
think
situation, he may have to swap to left hand, and I don't know if he can close
This is
game
never a
out
good thing.
left-handed.
There's already 2 or 3 bandages on David alone.
we may have to amputate?
It looks like he's okay, folks. Whew. Close one.
Back to David.
Oh,
And David and Anthony
Ties
are
it up,
tied for
6
the
to 6.
lead.
Anthony is looking for a chase here. He brings him up to the line, goes for that right wall. Let's fake the white wall and go for a straight shot, but he doesn't
Back
do
into
that.
position
Come on,
for
Anthony.
Anthony.
Fake the right wall and go for a straight
Once
shot.
again.
We know you can do this, Anthony.
Oh!
There it is! He fakes the right wall, does the stop. I called it!
Excellent.
Gets it on the cut. Oh man, it's now 2-2. I mean, from losing 2 games in a row, 7-0, 7-2, to then winning the next 2 back to back. Dark Antonio might be back in the studio.
You know, and man, what a match. I just love to see that Anthony saw that David was coming up to the line, and he finally faked the right wall and went for the straight cut instead. That really just, you know, it warmed my heart because I've seen him do it 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, please, Anthony, see him doing that because, I mean, he's just putting himself out there.
When we say, I just heard Anthony say, payback for hurting my finger. When we say set it up, you'll see that a lot, and you'll see it a lot in the chat. People say, set it up. Why won't he set it up? Or he needs to set it up. Setting it up doesn't just mean taking your time and hitting it. It means making a strategy and hitting the puck to a certain area a certain amount of times to make the person think you're going to either do it again or do something different. You are trying to bait the opponent to doing something different. You're trying to guess their next move so you can do the opposite, right?
Right.
We're about to jump into what is the 5th game. David only 2 games away from closing out this entire match. Anthony 2 games away from winning this set and it bringing into the final set. First possession goes to David again. Keeps possession time. Goes for the cut. He misses it. See, this is the setup right here. Oh, and then the right wall under. Wow. Do you see that? He goes for the cut first. Makes him think he's going to do the same thing and then goes for the right wall under. First blood.
What a ruthless replay. Here comes Anthony with further possession. Now back to David.
Another right wall.
I was surprised the camera can capture the motion of the puck when it's going that fast.
Honestly, my eyes can't keep up with it.
I mean, even there, it hit the corner of David's goal and almost got away from him. He was still able to hit it while it was moving. His reflexes are fantastic. Oh, look at that. He baited David forward and got a wide open goal on him.
It's funny to see that the stream actually started 2 hours ago.
Isn't that crazy?
Feels like these guys have been at it for hours on end already.
It feels like it. I mean, the game against Zander was about a half an hour to 45 minutes, and so this game has only been going over for about an hour or so, which is, to be honest, the actual USA sanctioned games generally are the best. Instead of best 2 sets out of 3, they play the best 4 sets out of 7. Those games, on average, take around 4 hours, and sometimes lasting up to 6 hours long. And
that is some incredible work from that.
So we started watching our streams and seeing that people really start losing attention right after the first 2 hours, and so we said, okay, we're shortening these games up.
All right, kind of testing the waters.
It's really interesting. It's really interesting seeing this rookie up against the veteran, and I think the veteran, he's taking his time, but it's anyone's game still.
I wouldn't call him a rookie anymore. He's a rookie sensation. This guy's killing it out here.
That's so good.
All right, 1 and 4. David has the advantage and possession.
Oh my goodness.
Another right wall.
Incredible right wall.
I think that he didn't like losing the last game, and it's showing right here. Just some fantastic plays back and forth. It's 5-1. I think David realized what he did wrong in the last game, and now he's bringing it back. Nice right wall under by Anthony.
All right, here's Anthony with possession.
he's cracking up at that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's funny. Anthony's cracking up.
All right, here's Anthony back with the possession.
David taunting him. Oh, he's doing it again. David should not be doing that. He leaves his goal wide open. That's what Zander was sort of trying to do to David, apparently. Now Anthony doing it back. This is a risky game. This is a game of chicken at this point.
Indeed.
David's got a ton of leeway, though. He's got a whole set to play with, whereas Anthony really does not, and he's 2 points away from losing this game and it being match game for David. If David wins this game, the next game is a possible match game. So David has a lot of leeway. Anthony cannot screw around at all.
Yeah, he can't afford to give any leeway to David either.
And you can really see that in this match right now too. Is Anthony has really slowed down and put up a stronger defense, but I feel like he really actually needs to stay aggressive.
Absolutely.
And now it's 2-6.
2-6 with the advantage going to David.
Oh, and David immediately charges, like you said, contested it, gets the puck back, and then gets it back again. Killer play by David. And then he scores it to win the game.
The game.
Oh, man.
One game to go.
That was fantastic. That charge, that got him that possession. If that was a 6-6, I would be screaming right now because of how exciting that would be.
Well, and if I was in Anthony's shoes, I'd be sweating because, you know, you're down a set, you're down the match, and you got one game left to try to come back and take it. And, you know, he's got to win 2 more games.
How long has
break even?
How long has David even been in this tournament?
David,
been under this amount of experience. It's only been 1 year, am I right?
David's been playing, I believe, longer than. Anthony's been playing a bit longer than David has.
Well, I mean, David being this. It's sensational performance out here. I wouldn't be surprised if his nickname could be Lightning at this point.
It makes
being a rookie sensation.
It makes a huge difference when you own a table at home.
Indeed it does,
actually. So Tim and David bought a brown top, is what it's called. It's one of the original Dynamo tables. I shouldn't say original, but it came a bit after the originals came out. It is a brown surface instead of that blue one that you see there. And it has a really flat surface. These blue ones here that are a little bit newer have a bit slightly concave surface, but the brown top has a very flat surface. It's a very good table. It's very dry. It plays very fast. And David has been practicing on that, and it's very apparent. I said very too many times.
Interesting.
But it's apparent how much practice and how much it shows when you have a table at home. Anthony does not have a table at home.
And a brown top, actually, you said it was not concave?
It's not. So this one here, if you let anything go, it'll eventually drift to the very center because there's a slight slope because they only reinforce it at like the 20-yard lines, if you will. Beautiful first goal by Anthony, right?
Wonderful first goal. If David can capitalize and eventually win this match, it is game over and goodbye to Anthony.
Brooke says it's very the new beautiful. That's hilarious because I always say beautiful. I'm trying to quit. I'm trying to quit.
What a good defense there. Anthony gets the puck.
David is trying to play this forward defense and somehow working for him.
Almost like a taunt.
Oh,
unbelievable.
Nice. Very nice.
You know, this is really what Anthony needs right now, too, is he needs to take advantage. He's got 2 goals up, and he needs to win this round, for sure, if he wants to stay in this tournament.
Oh, there goes Anthony with a 1-3. And here comes David on the attack. I see Anthony's kind of slowing down a little bit. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I do want to say that both players seem to be slowing down just a little bit.
They're probably exhausted for how long this match has been going on. The heat is on.
Absolutely.
And the pressure is, too, between 2 players.
Anthony's doing a lot of fakes on the right and left walls.
Absolutely. I've kind of seen that as well.
Nice cut. Deflected by David.
That's a wonderful
David goes
shot.
for a sloppy right.
David goes for the off goal. Sets it up. Goes to the right wall under. Do you see that? That's the best
Tied it
setup.
up 3-3.
And that's a setup right there. He goes for an off goal on the other side, and so Anthony thinks he's gonna do it again. Oh no! Anthony
Not
has
a great position to be
zero
in.
margin for
But then
error.
he gets it right back.
There we go. Here we are.
He was
4-4 for both players.
He was in the lead though, and then just scores on himself. He cannot afford that right now. David only 3 points away from kicking Anthony completely out of the Idaho State Tournament.
You know, and David, that's where he's at right now. He's like, man, I only need 1 more point, so he's just really trying to close this out. He's getting excited so much so that his shoe flew off.
Oh man, that is He called a timeout though. He did it appropriately. Didn't try to distract. Caleb, I don't know if you remember our family friend Todd Campbell. He used to say, I don't know karate, but I know Toshudo, and he would take a shoe halfway off and then fling it at you with his foot. It was like the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
I never thought about using that as a tactic in air hockey, just like kicking it under the table at the other person, so when they look down, you score a goal.
Right. You know, whatever you can do to take that win.
Beautiful shot. Absolutely incredible.
5-5.
Who's gonna come back? Oh, a little bit of a reach from David.
Oh,
and
there we go.
able to capitalize.
6-5. Matt's starting to feel the pressure. Can he close this game out?
Can Anthony capitalize, or can David actually win the tournament for good?
Anthony
against
gets
the number
control,
3
but he
seed?
passes it back.
It
because
touched.
he
It touched Anthony's hand exactly. Can David tie it?
Can
Goes for
David
two
tie
right
and
walls.
potentially win the
Oh, he
game?
ties it.
3 right walls to tie it up. But
It all
Anthony's got
comes down
possession.
to this.
Anthony
Can
puts it out there,
David
he gets to the left
capitalize,
wall,
or
but then he
will
goes back to
Anthony
back.
make a comeback?
That slows it down. He takes the right.
Anthony lost possession. That was not
Here's
a good
David
time to
on
do
the
that.
attack. Anthony with an incredible defense.
Anthony
Here's
gets possession
Anthony
back.
with
Anthony
possession.
gets back possession.
He set it up.
Goes
This
for the
is
cut.
intense, folks.
He goes for the shot
Another
again.
cut straight down the center. Goes for the right wall. Another right
here
wall.
comes.
Anthony still has control of the puck.
Oh!
Almost
David
lost
loses
it.
it again. Oh!
Anthony with a
does it
beautiful
Ties it
shot.
up. It's now 3 games to 3 games.
Incredible.
He says, "Look, rookie, you gotta work for
Incredibly
this
close.
win."
Oh, that was
If
fantastic.
only David had moved a fraction of a second faster, it would have made a world of difference for him.
Oh man!
Incredible
You
and an
can see
outstanding
the
victory
smiles on
for
Anthony's
Anthony.
face. Anthony is really feeling it now. He knew that that was the goal that really makes a difference here, and now he can go into this next round confident, 3-3. If he wins this match, it's 1-1, set 1-1.
It's true.
I mean,
it's
you
true.
know,
Okay, so that's what's so crazy about this next game, Caleb. Like you're saying, if David wins this next game, Anthony's completely kicked out. His 3 wins are basically useless, and it's over for him. If Anthony wins this next game, it's then completely tied up, and they have another set. It's almost like an entirely clean
whole
slate,
nother
a whole new world.
What
Don't
a
you
great
dare close your
play.
eyes.
That is a play and a
Absolutely,
half
you
by
don't
Anthony
want to
right
close
there.
your eyes during this match.
If,
I mean, you know, just for a split second, and you'll miss it.
Are we allowed to burst out in Disney song? Is there a copyright if we start? You know,
NBA.
wasn't The Emperor's New Groove? Was that Disney? I don't know.
Yeah, it's Disney.
Oh
it's,
man, so
2000.
we've
not
already
Pixar, though.
we've already copyright infringed like 8 times. So I mean, why stop now? Is
You get thrown out from the top.
I mean, freedom of speech, right?
Of course, yeah. Well,
This is America.
Caleb, look at this game. Isn't it neat?
Depends on how good the singing
Wouldn't
is, I
you
suspect.
say that our stream is complete? I'm kidding.
Set game, match game.
Yeah,
All right,
that's correct.
let's get down
Possible-
to business.
It's a possible match game for
Mulan.
David, possible set game for Anthony, and first possession goes to. It looks like David gets full. Well, I guess Anthony got first possession for having
Anthony
that strike.
took a free shot there. I don't know, but either way, here we go. David takes a shot. Anthony right back at him.
If Anthony gets to
possession.
win this, it could reset the entire set
Beautiful left
and
wall
give him the
defended by David.
advantage.
David now has control of the puck.
And
Takes
the
him out
first
just for a
goal
cut.
going to
What a
David
beautiful shot.
Genevicz.
The
Anthony
countdown.
goes right back for the shot, but David's there to deflect it. Anthony goes for the right wall.
All
left
right, back
wall,
to David.
But David is just in position.
Number 6 seed back with possession. Oh, it's going all over and lands back in David's hands. A wonderful
And there
shot.
it is again.
0.
2 cuts in a row.
David
Anthony's
now
starting
in
to
the
feel
lead.
the pressure. He needs to slow it down, take his shots. You know,
All right,
You can
here's
see the
David.
energy coming
What
out of
a
Anthony here.
speed shot.
come on, Anthony. We don't want it to end here. You know, we're having way too much fun
God.
tonight.
I see Vi in chat saying this is so great. I don't even miss Monday Night Football. I absolutely love that. Vi, thank you so much for supporting us.
Brooke with a funny comment, depending on how good the singing is, I suspect.
About our Disney quote.
Cheers to you, Brooke.
David is right now 5 points away from kicking Anthony clean out of this entire tournament. Anthony's 7 points away from dragging David into what will not just be the third set, But technically, for David, that would be his 5th set tonight because he's already had 2 sets against Zander.
David is really intense. He's got a lot of energy right now, and he's really using it. He's using it well.
All
Or not
right,
Anthony,
back.
David. I apologize.
Ooh, here we go. Back into David's hands. Wow, this
Nice
is just
block.
entirely energized between these two.
David's setting it up. Going for the
Set up.
drift. Goes for... Oh, loses control.
Loses it.
You can
This is
see...
a
it's
really
back in
great
Anthony's
opportunity for Anthony. If he can get that right wall, come on, Anthony, right wall. Let's see it.
No way.
Almost.
Anthony's
This
next
is
goal is
all
going to be a
green
cut.
shot.
I bet you, Caleb, Anthony's next goal is a cut right here.
Right here.
Nope, that was a right wall.
It was a
Come
right
on,
wall.
Anthony, don't
Surprising.
prove me wrong. Oh, goes for a left wall. It's
An off-speed
completely
left
flubbed.
wall.
No, that was a flub. It was never supposed to be that slow. Here comes a cut. Okay, that was a cut. He didn't make the goal, though.
It was a great defense by David. David and Anthony really doing great on the defense right now on both sides. They're both slowed it down. You know, honestly, I think Anthony should take a timeout as soon as he gets the puck.
David trying so hard for that right wall under. He's almost giving up the cuts completely. There he goes for the cross, and it's missed.
Anthony really needs to slow it down here. I think a timeout would be absolutely to his benefit.
The poll is now the majority in David's name at a 62%, with Anthony trailing at a 38. Incredible performance between these two. The energy in their minds is probably off the charts.
Anthony does an off goal.
It's incredible how long it's been 0-2. I mean, this puck has been going back and forth, back and forth. It's been probably over a minute now on the table.
It's feeling like 5 minutes, actually.
I mean, the defense, you know, they are just blocking every shot.
David's shooting
both
directly
players
down the
kinda
middle.
slowed down now.
I mean, David's
comes David with
still with
possession.
almost all possession time right now, but Anthony's putting up a heck of a defense.
I think that's what he's gonna need right now.
Oh, forehand
There is
garbage
the
shot.
Oh, and there's a
point.
double.
No, that was a garbage shot. David saw it. Watch this replay, and you'll see David tap on his goal because it was not meant. And you can see him tap on his goal. Even he's upset about it. That was a garbage shot.
Visibly upset.
And I mean, players like that, they literally, the opponent will even say out loud, "Hey, that was garbage," and the player will be like, "Yeah, I know, I'm sorry." Like, you know, no one tries to do an intentional shot.
David honestly is making these, as Bridget has mentioned, he's been making these matches look easy, like a slice of cake. Here comes David back with possession again.
I've actually gone touring with Anthony around the few cities in this area, and Anthony will bet people for money as well, and nobody can beat him. Like, no, just random people. So when David makes it look easy to beat Anthony, that's incredible.
Right.
Here comes Anthony back with possession.
Anthony's hanging in there even with
Take
0
that
points.
time out, Anthony.
He's keeping
Take
he's
your
keeping
time.
an eye out for the mallet that is in David's possession right
There you
now.
go, Caleb. Anthony gets a free timeout that way.
Because he does. He needed a change up. I mean, it's 0-3. He's feeling the pressure, and he needs to take back control of the table, or it's all over.
Seems as if David and Anthony are now kind of deciding over the polls right now. David's falling behind at a 57.
Oh,
And
that
there
was
goes the
so
puck.
good. Such a good block. It was down the center. David was able to block it and move straight back.
He lets another cut go through. Doesn't contest him there. You know, and you'll see how far he brings it up. He brings it almost up to the line before he takes that shot.
All right, here we go back again with David, and it's now 0-4. 3 points to go, and David is securing himself a spot in the next tournament.
It's one of the longest lasting games there is, but right wall under.
Incredible. 2 to go.
There it goes.
And
Okay.
there's the first point from Anthony.
He got a quick one.
I would hate for Anthony to
Catches
get
him off
skunked on the
guard.
very last game, but I mean, Anthony has won 3 games a set, and he even won the very last game that just played. And David's just killing him this game.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, after all, he is the number 3 seed, but it's surprising to see a number 6 seed like David over here just trying to capitalize.
Well, it's kind of what I said. David really has a lot of unrealized points, I think. And now it's match point to 1. If David gets 1 more point, Anthony is out of this tournament.
We're going to crown us a new winner for tonight.
Goes for the right wall under. It's blocked. Can Anthony get the next 6 points in a row?
Hopefully.
That would be very difficult to pull off.
Incredibly difficult, but incredibly impressive.
Anthony still with possession.
It's
Blocked by a counter shot. And David takes the shot. Goes right wall. Doesn't quite connect. Brings it back to the front.
Off
Another
goal.
right wall.
Another off goal to
Back
trick
in
him.
David's
And
hand,
another off
hits
goal.
in the corner.
So you
Another
can,
off
you can see
goal.
the off goals and how he's playing with him. And then goes to
And
the right
that
wall
is
under.
Into the right wall. That is it. Folks,
Good
I'm glad you all
game
got to
from
see this
David
tonight.
Genevicz.
What a great match.
Incredible performance.
Oh, that was fantastic.
I can only
Beautiful
feel
right
the
wall.
relief from both of these players right now after one hell of a match.
Oh, man, Anthony.
And this is why you don't watch Monday Night Football. You come here because
Indeed.
you don't want to miss this kind of match.
Oh, man. Well, these players are going to go bounce over to the couch right now. This is the perfect time for your questions and comments before we end off the stream for the night. I really appreciate everybody for supporting us. There's some people in here I would love to shout out, like Brooke. We have Bridget. We've got Vi that's been in here. We've got Evely that's in here. We have Derpy Piggy. That's Sam. He's popping in here. We've got a whole bunch of people that have been with us from the very start that have been supporting us. And I just don't ever want to forget you guys and how much support you've given us. So thank you to our viewers, our fans. You guys are amazing. Make sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with your friends. And now we're gonna go bounce out over there to the couch. Grab your questions, fire them off in the chat right now. If we don't answer it, feel free to bump it and just submit it again, because sometimes there's a lot of chat. So, all right, we'll see you guys on the other side.
Hey, you guys need to be quiet over here.
Hey, boys.
Incredible. Outstanding. Like, unbelievable.
I don't know what happened in that last game.
What's that?
I don't know what happened in that last game.
I don't know either.
Dude, you had him too, like you.
I did.
You
If
had
I won that one set, I would have won it all.
Man, I mean, we just saw the scores.
David said it himself.
Okay,
Hair's
so
all frizzy.
right off the top, I was kind of sharing that your playlist is awful, Anthony. Just awful. And
no.
so I have to know, and I'm assuming the fans are going to ask anyway, what were you listening to that last game and the games that you got like 7-0, 7-2'd on? Gotta know.
Country.
Oh.
That explains it.
I was debating on changing it to white girl music, like old Nicki Minaj.
Oh, jeez, that's worse.
That sounds hype, dude.
So like I've got a lot of like tips and pointers, but that's definitely the top of the list of things I would
No,
suggest
I wanna
is
know
to,
David's
to
practice
not.
routine.
You know, if I were in your shoes, Anthony, if I were in your shoes, I'd be listening to something that would get me pumped up to go, like maybe like some hardcore rock or something.
Yeah, yeah. Dude looks like a lady. That's what I would rock.
That's a good song. Dude looks like a lady.
Whenever I play against Anthony, that's what I listen to. Just kidding.
When I listen to songs like AD.
So
Boom, boom.
all right,
Tap
we
my
could
mallet.
very easily see that you guys are buds, right? Like, I mean, I don't know how many times, David, you did a garbage shot, and you would say like, "Oh man, you tap your goal," right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love the camaraderie between the two of you guys. Is it difficult for you guys to play against a friend?
Sometimes. Because
like the
it makes it
rivalry.
easier to get frustrated at them because they won't care like as much as like a stranger. I don't know.
I think that's debatable. Some
Well,
people get
it's just-
really
it's just
mad when
weird
people
when
get
it's
mad
with
at
a
each other.
stranger, right? But like when it's with someone you know, you can like.
Give him a little ounce of leeway, kind of thing. Or? Yeah.
It's easier for him to crush me.
Matt, even I could beat
See, I don't know if anybody can
Little
even
bit of
hear
drama.
Matt. Matt's on the side just throwing popcorn. He's a peanut gallery, is what we call him. So we got,
Matt over here.
you know, so Anthony, I don't want to break it to you, but that means you're out of the tournament. At the same time, I also want to give you like a massive shout out because a lot of our viewers don't realize that
Matt, who do you play?
90% of the scoring that's done is done by Anthony. He's the one that does all the the live scoring. He is the one that is constantly helping out with the sound, and he's helping out with camera angles. In fact, when he is playing, we suffer because that means I had to do it. So if you guys noticed that the screen went black a few times, it's because I just hit the wrong button.
Anthony doesn't do that. He doesn't hit the
I'm
wrong
needed.
button.
Right? Look
Yeah,
at that.
you're needed. So, yes.
Back to the control room.
David, what advice would you give to Anthony in that game?
I think you were doing really good overall, but I say like your left walls, those were really good against me, man. Especially like.
Except for I landed 3 of them.
Well, in a row, right? It's just like Nathan says, if it works, don't stop doing it. You know.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Until it stops working, that's when you gotta change it.
You were close. You were so close to getting in his head on this one game. You were so close, and I'm like, this could be the turning point.
Which game was it?
You know, it was in the first set. It was in the first set. And you could also look on the screen right there, dude.
I know, but I like looking over.
And you were so close because I'm like, man, if he blocks a few more of these shots from David and scores a few more of the same shot, David's gonna start wondering if he's gonna have to adjust, right? If you can force your opponent to adjust, then you're winning in a sense, right? I should probably look at chat right now. It's been blowing up. You guys had
I don't
such
like
a
that
fantastic
the
game.
7-0's purple, because purple is my favorite color.
It's almost like a slap in the face.
Then you should 7-0 him, so you got a lot more purple on the score. That's all I'm saying.
You 7-0 David.
So Vi, who recently said that this is better than watching football on Monday night, Vi's asking David, how are you feeling? Exhausted? Because you just went 4 sets.
I'm doing pretty good, actually.
Could you play another set?
What?
Could you play another set? Say against Matt.
Probably.
Yeah,
And win.
probably. No, maybe
Sold!
not
All
win.
right, next up, we got a game coming at you right now. Okay.
Let's get ready to rumble.
I thought you were
Hold on, do we think
I thought you were trying to catch him.
I think Matt was like, cause he like, oh no, you're out. Do we think Matt's gonna beat Josiah? Yeah. Josiah's pretty good.
That silence was loud.
So actually, this is a perfect time to plug our next game next week is going to be yours truly against Amoog, also known as Zachary Folden, and that game is going to be epic. I've been tutoring him for a while now. He's been doing amazing. The week after, actually not even the week, the next day. So we're going to have a very rare Tuesday appearance by Matt Bentley versus Josiah. So you can see and take a look at this bracket right here. At the very top of the bracket, we got me versus Zach. And then the next day, on a Tuesday, we're going to be streaming. So this is going to be kind of off schedule. Matt versus Josiah. And then after that, it's going to be Peter, Kai versus Scott. So those are the next 3 weeks that we're looking at. This was today's game. It was 2-0 in David's favor. And then immediately after that, 2-0 in David's favor again, although it came down to 1 game. Anthony, I do want to say you did very good. Yesterday, you were the only person to take a game off of me. In fact, I told him that how yesterday I was able to beat David pretty easily, and against you, I was like getting upset. You were causing me a lot of trouble.
Oh yes.
You did really good. So I was like, I think David's got this game. But then after yesterday, I'm like, I don't know if David's got this game. If Anthony's able to play his game like he did yesterday. So sometimes you're just on a roll, and sometimes you're not. Dark Antonio style. All right, let's see some questions here.
Tim, what's your question?
Oh no, it's a statement. Any given Sunday.
What do you mean?
Any given Sunday?
What?
What?
Be anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Yep, it's true.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yesterday, and that's what's crazy is that you beat David yesterday and took a solid second place. And up until that, up until that point, David scored higher than everybody else for the last, I don't know how many weeks. He's done solid. Him and Josiah, I think Josiah took the last week before that. But that was, I think, your first time coming in second place, yeah? Yes, I think so.
I think I've given first when I came to second.
Okay. All right.
I came second once and first.
I'm looking at the chats right now, see if I can read off any questions. We got Bridget just thanking the players, commentators, spectators, and coaches. Once again, we really appreciate you guys for watching. We would be nothing without the viewers. And I believe that that's a wrap. Anything that you guys wanted to mention before closing out?
No.
Any closing arguments or statements?
Last I checked, this wasn't debate class.
And now,
Good
Thumb
point.
War, right now, go. All right, guys, from all of us at the American Air Hockey League, we'd like to wish you all a good night and thank you for supporting us.
Thank you again, and have a great night,
Yes,
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Great night.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, Mom.